for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's that boy, my coach Malachi Williams in the building, and we back in this mother. Okay, today is a good Friday. My computer's kind of lagging a little bit. I have no idea what it is, guys. So please forgive me in advance. My computer is lagging a little bit. I think I'm having an issue with the internet connection. I'm not a tech guy, so I really don't know what to say. Shout out to Naya Shortcake. You know what I mean? Shout out to Naya Shortcake. So that's my daughter. My computer lagging a little bit, man. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, my computer is lagging a little bit. I have no idea why. My computer is lagging. So I might have to clean some things. I do have my Mac cleaner, my Clean My Mac X. So I might have to just clean up a whole lot of stuff. It could be just a lot of stuff in the background that's going on. So I'm gonna straighten that out, guys. I should have done it before. So I really do apologize for the lagging that you see. Other than that, I just want to give everybody a shout out in the chat. Let's ring a round of applause. I hope you guys can hear this applause, because I tried to fix whatever issues that I had going on with my Elgato. I think it's my computer, though. I'm going to buy me another Mac, though. I'm going to buy me another Mac. I'll probably buy one. I might buy one tomorrow. I'm going to buy me another Mac and see what's up. You know what I mean? Shout out to Halim. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to Jethro. Shout out to Angus. Shout out to Noob or Knob. Shout out to Elvis. Shout out to Naya Shortcake. Shout out to Ephraim. Shout out to who else we have in the building. Malibogo. What's going on, fam? Malibogo, what's going on, fam? Shout out to Jonathan. LDBC smoking good. Yes, they are. They are. Rocket Andretti, what's going on, fam? Rocket Andretti. Shout out to my brother, man, Diallo Huggy, man. Let me see, can I ring the Ali bell? I don't know if you guys can hear that Ali bell. If you can't hear it, man, I got to try to fix it again. Again, guys, I think it's my computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a new one. I had this MacBook Air that I stream off of. I don't think it can handle the stream, so I'm going to get something a whole lot powerful with a stronger processor. So it is what it is. I got my money's worth out of it. I won't be doing any more streams on this anymore. So I might just go ahead and I'll spend that $1,200, $1,300 or $1,400 and get me another Mac. I like Macs, man. I'm just a Mac guy. I like Macs. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Stanley. Shout out to Boxing's Future. Shout out to my brother Michael Buffer. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Charlo. Let's ring the Ali bell for Charlo, man. If y'all can't hear it, man, I can hear it. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna get it fixed. I'm gonna get it fixed. Shout out to Hooligan Music. Shout out to Jaden. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Uwapo. Uwapo, what's going on? Malachi Williams. Hey, guys, so I have my daughter, Naya Shortcake, on, and I have my son, Malachi Williams, little Malachi. They're on today. So I can't curse. Because you guys know how I get. So I can't curse because I got the kids listening. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, shout out to Topatine. Shout out to the Fight Fan. Anyways, man, shout out to Proud Father, man. Shout out to Fight Fan 30. Other than that, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. Let's do this. Now, I was watching, and I do have a you know me, guys, I come with receipts. So if you look in the link in the description below, go to boxingnews24.com. This is where I got the information from where Caleb Plant was doing an interview. And Caleb Plant was basically saying, hey, man, Canelo Alvarez, he really haven't shown any improvement, and he not no Billy Joe Saunders, and he felt offended that people was comparing him to Billy Joe Saunders. You guys know that I was the first one to say it. He's just an American version of Billy Joe Saunders. You see what I'm saying? I've seen Caleb Plant. I've seen like 7 of his fights. You see what I'm saying? Brennan, what you say? Plant can win. Hey, shout out to Brennan. Brennan say Plant can win. Brennan, I tell you what, sir, you are not wrong for feeling that way, especially if you are a Caleb Plant fan. Me, I am not a Caleb Plant fan, so I don't believe in him at all. You see what I'm saying? I don't believe in him. I believe in him when he's fighting Caleb Truax. I believe in him when he's fighting these other fighters that he has fought over the years. You see what I'm saying? But I don't believe in him from a Canelo Alvarez standpoint. No cursing, but still that coach energy. Yes, sir. I'm going. No, the energy coming. Shout out to Toby Barlett. The energy is coming, guys. Trust me, the energy is coming. You know what I mean? I just can't curse because I got my kids on here. I got my kids on here. I got an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. Yeah. So, Caleb Plant. I'm not going to talk bad about Mr. Caleb Plant. You know what I will say is that I don't believe you, Caleb Plant, when you say that you are going to be the one to beat Canelo. I don't believe you, Alphabet Boy community, when you say I am you are going to be the one that Caleb Plant is the one that got the skills to pay the bills to beat Canelo. Listen, Caleb Plant, with all due respect, sir, you are food. Do you know what food means in the streets? Food means that you are prey and you are going to be hunted by the predator. That's all it is. No one even talks about Mr. Sweet Hands. You need to get a more gangster name. Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. I understand that you got a lot of brothers in the hood that's down with you. I understand that you got a lot of brothers from the LDBC community that look at you as white chocolate. I get all of that. I understand that you have a lot of these Alphabet Boy communities that's rooting for you. Let me explain to you guys what's really going on. Shout out to the Boxing King. Let me explain to you guys what's really going on. They don't believe in Caleb Plant. They just hate Canelo Alvarez. That's what it is. Shout out to my main man Halim. They don't believe in Caleb Plant. You see what I'm saying? They just hate Canelo Alvarez. So this is not really that they love Caleb Plant. It's the fact that they hate Canelo Alvarez that much. Now, I'm not saying that if you root for Canelo Alvarez, that means you are a hater of Canelo. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is the Alphabet Boy community. What's the guy that said Caleb Plant can win? I'm not directing this, Brennan. I'm not directing this to you, sir. I'm not directing this to you, sir. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the Alphabet Boy community. I'm talking about the Alphabet Boy community. Anali says that Plant is a better opponent than Billy Joe Saunders for sure. I may even give you that. He's a better opponent because he's a natural super middleweight. He's bigger than Billy Joe Saunders. So I would give you that. Caleb Plant, he does have quick hands, right? But let's not get carried away, Anali. Caleb Plant, you have to judge him based on who he has fought. Now, if I pull up Caleb Plant's resume, I can promise you, you're not gonna know not one person that he's fought. Maybe you might know two. You know the I keep forgetting the guy name that he beat in order to get the IBF super middleweight belt. But and he fought Caleb Truax. You see what I'm saying? But this is what it is. Caleb Plant won $8 million. Not a problem. Not a problem. He won $8 million. Not a problem. If Caleb Plant wants $10 million, fine. I understand, Mr. Caleb Plant. You are broke. You don't have any money. He's one of the fighters at the PBC that's not making any money. Caleb Plant has a net worth of $1 million. $1 million is a lot of money to someone like me and you. You know what I mean? But in the grand scheme of things, from a boxer standpoint, Uzgataki. That's who his name. Proud father. Thank you so much, brother. Uzgataki is who you're gonna know that he's Uzgataki is who you want to know that he's fought. That's it. Caleb Truax, I know who Caleb Truax is. He had a little something back in his day, but other than that, that's it. But I understand that Caleb Plant came up in the trailer parks of the hood, and everybody is saying, yeah, he's that guy. But I'm telling you what it is. They're not rooting for Caleb Plant, the Alphabet Boy community, because they like Caleb Plant. They're rooting for Caleb Plant because they hate Canelo that bad. When you go to hearing things like Caleb Plant is that guy, he's the special one that's going to show Canelo something that he's never seen before. And he's going to be the one that do A, B, C, and D. And he's going to be the one to give Canelo Alvarez's fits. Know that this is wishful thinking. Know that they are hoping. Know that they are wishing upon a star. You see what I'm saying? The Alphabet Boy community hates Canelo Alvarez that much. But it's kind of hard to hate Canelo because he keep winning. The man hasn't lost a fight in 7.5 years since he last fought Floyd Mayweather. You see what I'm saying? So Michael Buffer says Plant is pricing himself out. He's asking for more than $8 million, but both fighters like Billy Joe and Smith have done more, and they got $8 million. And why is he asking for more? Feels like AJ Wilder. Yes, this is what's going on. And I'm going to tell you what it is. You got to understand something, guys. This fight is for the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, right? So Canelo is Thanos right now. Canelo came, he's Thanos, and he's collecting the Infinity Stones, right? And he has one more stone to collect. He has several different variations of the WBC belt. I think he has the franchise. He has the Aztec WBC. He has the WBO. He has the IBF. No, he has the WBA, and he has the WBO, the WBA, and he has the WBC regular, right? And he has the Aztec belt or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So now, Canelo Alvarez is Thanos right now. He's looking for that fourth belt. And if Caleb Plant handlers like Al Heyman allows him to sign the contract, he would be another victim. We will be playing Queen. Another one bites the dust. That's what's going to happen. This is not me jockeying for Canelo. This is not me being a fanboy for Canelo. This is me calling it the way I see it. Caleb Plant, we don't believe you. Caleb Plant got some fans. You know, I've never seen them before. I never heard of anyone saying that they was fans of Caleb Plant ever before in my life. But now that Caleb Plant is going to potentially fight Canelo Alvarez, now the Caleb Plant fans are coming out of the woodwork. They are talking like he's Rocky Marciano. They are talking like he's Jack Dempsey. They are talking like he's Ricky Hatton. They are talking like he's the next great white hope. The only thing that you can hope for is that he can make it to the 8th round. The only thing that you're going to be able to hope for with Caleb Sweet Hands Plant, you're just going to hope that he can last. You see what I'm saying? Whoever believes in Caleb Plant, I promise you one thing. None of you would bet a quarter on Caleb Plant. Everybody who talking about Caleb Plant, everybody from the Alphabet Boy community, and some people, a couple of people that's in this chat right now that are Caleb Plant fans, I can bet you one thing. I can bet you two things. I can bet you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things. You would not bet $1 on Caleb Plant. You want to know why? Because you know, and I know that you know that Caleb Plant gonna get his ass knocked out. Period. Watch what I tell you. Coach, you know that if Canelo fights a bodega clerk, the LDBC would say he'll school Canelo. They are desperate. Hey, that's a good one, man. Hey, Hey, Efren. Efren, that's a good one, brother. That's a good one, brother. That's a good one. Hey, the boxing key. What do you say, fam? You say they'll say Charlo is going to be the one. Listen, man. Charlo is a better fighter than Caleb Plant, in my opinion. Caleb Plant, he backed out of two negotiations to fight David Benavidez. This Caleb Plant. You see what I'm saying? This Caleb Plant. I am not the one, what you, Brendan, what you say, fam? You say, I disagree. I don't see him getting KO'd, but I don't gamble. Listen. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with you disagreeing, brother. You know, there's nothing wrong with you disagreeing. I understand that you are, Mr. Brennan Smith is a Caleb Plant fan. And who else is a Caleb Plant fan? And we're not going to bang on fans of Caleb Plant. I'm glad that Caleb Plant has some fans out there. I'm glad that there are some people who believe in Caleb Plant. I am just not one of them. I feel like that he's going to get knocked out. I feel like that Canelo will probably get him out of there, probably like anywhere between 4 and 6. He'll be done. Anywhere between 4 and 6. It's going to go down one of 3 ways. He's going to get knocked out. It's going to be a TKO stoppage, or his corner is going to throw the towel in. That's the way I see it going down. Listen, Caleb Plant, you will get uprooted, sir. They call you Plant. You will get unplanted that day. Whatever Canelo decides to pay you, sir. You said you want $8 million? Fine. Now I'm hearing you want $10 million. Then I heard you want $12 million. Then I heard you want $15 million. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. When Canelo finishes with you, sir, you were going to spend every dime of that money after the IRS get their cut, after Al Heyman gets his advisory and management cut, because Al Heyman is an advisor and a manager to these fighters. So he's getting paid both ways from these fighters, PBC fighters. Once you have to pay your team and you have to pay all of your expenses. You are going to need all of that money, sir, to heal up. If you don't believe me, ask Billy Joe Saunders. He made $8 million. He got $3 million guaranteed, and he made another $5 million on the pay-per-view. So Billy Joe Saunders made his highest payday. That was the most money Billy Joe Saunders has ever made for a fight. You, sir, Mr. Caleb Plant, you are not wrong for wanting to get as much money as you possibly can. You see what I'm saying? You are not wrong for wanting to get as much money as you possibly can, sir, because you're going to need every dime. Because your last fight, your biggest purse as of to date has been $750,000. That's the most money Caleb Plant has made thus far in his boxing career. So he is not wrong for wanting to make as much money as he can fighting Canelo. He's not wrong for that, guys. I can't fault him for that because he's going to lose his belt. He knows this. But losing his belt is going to come with a lot of pain. You see what I'm saying? He'll be lucky if he make it to the 6th round. I understand that Caleb Plant is 6'1". I understand that Caleb Plant has a 74-inch arm reach. I understand that Caleb Plant grew up in the hood, around the boys in the hood. I understand that Caleb Plant has been co-signed by the brothers in the hood, whatever the hell that means. Guess what? The brothers in the hood is not going to take those punches that Caleb Plant is going to take. The hood is not going to be in the ring with Caleb Plant. You know, I know they call you white chocolate. I understand that your hands is sweet and they call you sweet hands. Guess what? None of that is going to help you that day, sir. I don't believe in you, Caleb Plant. I don't. Some may say, hey, Coach Malachi, you are a Caleb Plant hater. So be it. I never was a fan of Caleb Plant. Period. I didn't like him when he had his first fight. I didn't like him when he had his last fight. There's nothing about Caleb Plant that I like personally. He's a nice guy. He seemed like he's very nice. He seemed like he's a good kid. I am old enough to be Caleb Plant's father, because he's 28 years old. He seemed like he's a good kid. You see what I'm saying? But good kids don't win boxing matches. So it takes skills to pay the bills. Charlo, what you say, fam? Coach, I bet you the PBC would be weary about throwing Plant in with Canelo, because when he loses, they'll be losing belts at a rapid rate. Listen, this is what I'm saying. Hey, Charlo, you said some real stuff, fam, because I still doubt that Caleb Plant will sign that contract. You got to understand. No, the PBC has lost the heavyweight championship belts. They lost all of the belts right now, right? So they don't have any heavyweights that are champions right now, right? And then they lost. So that's from Tyson Fury. You see what I'm saying? Now, do you think that the PBC is going to want to lose another belt? That's what I'm saying. I don't know if Al Heyman is going to allow another one of his fighters to lose a belt, because PBC like to have in-house fights. You see what I'm saying? Ken S says that coach you had that coach that you had on your show said Billy was going to knock out Canelo. I told him that that was BS. Yeah, that was Coach Asgard. He said he was going to come on my show. He hasn't been on. Why he hasn't showed up, I have no idea. I have a reason why though, but I have no idea. As you see, I'm here. And you all know I betted on Canelo. I betted on Billy Joe Saunders. I put $100 on him. I lost $100. So what? I showed up the next day. The people who said they believed in Billy Joe Saunders, they ducking and hiding right now. I'm not even a fan of Billy Joe Saunders like that. I've only seen Billy Joe have 4 fights. 4. You see what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about Billy Joe Saunders' background, where he comes from, what kind of struggle he went through. I don't know any of that. But I just bet on the man. But guess what? I would not make that mistake with sweet hands. Hey, shout out to my main man, Philly Fly. Ram says on one-dimensional, no head movement, and comes straight in. Come straight in and out. Shout out to my brother Philly Fly, man. Philly Fly says that Canelo going to stop Plant by starving photosynthesis. Wow. Hey, man. Woo. Hey, listen. Shout out to my brother Shane for the super chat. Shane, what you say, fam? You said what determines how much a fighter makes? What determines how much a fighter makes, Shane, is his demand. If he's able to pack a crowd, sell a venue out, and basically if he has a name. If he has a name, guys, you see what I'm saying? And he's a draw. Like when people hear his name, they come out to all of his fights. That would determine, Shane, how much a fighter makes. Basically, the people who are in charge of paying the fighters, they would look at you and say, hey man, they would look at you and say, hey man, hey man, listen, you a demand. You are a guy who the people want to see. No one is talking about Caleb Plant. So this is why his last fight, he only made $750,000. And that was his career payday. So that tells you everything you need to know about Mr. Caleb Plant. He had his career payday was $750,000. Right? So the game, what you say, fam? The game said Plant should be stripped if he doesn't take that fight. Yeah, I think Caleb Plant is going to have to take the fight. He's going to have to take the fight. You see what I'm saying? Listen, if I was Caleb Plant, I'd take the fight. Listen, guys, if my biggest payday was $750,000, that's the most money I've ever made for one fight. And then I got Canelo that's going to give me $8 million. That's 10 times more than what I've ever made. I'll take that fight in a heartbeat. Period. All you have to do, Michael Buff, what you say, fam? All you have to do is watch Charlo versus Derenchenko fight, and Canelo and Charlo can't win. I had to go through on Google to spell Derenchenko's name. Now, yeah, Derenchenko he's a good fighter, but he's a PBC fighter. And Derenchenko gave Jamal Charlo some serious problems. He hurt him a lot to the body. Jamal Charlo did win that fight, though. He did win that fight. What do you say? What do you say? Canelo going to be vegan that day? Yeah, that day, yeah, because we got to get the Plant. Charlo, what you say, fam? You say, Halim, get a hold of Coach Askey, bro. he needs to come on. Halim, I see you say I get him on, coach. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he said he was going to come on, so I understand it. The coach Askey probably licking his wounds right now. I get it, you know what I mean. But I just let Coach Askey know, and he already know. I bet on this boy. I bet on Billy Joe. You see what I'm saying? I bet on Billy Joe, but we know how it ended. But I tell you what, I bet you one thing, guys. I bet $100. The same $100 I lost on Billy Joe. I bet you $100 that I won't bet on Caleb Plant. Who want to take that bet up? I wanted Billy to win because I'm a Tyson Fury. Because I'm a Tyson Fury fan. Okay. All right. You know what I mean? Listen, I bet $100. I bet anybody $100 that I would not bet $100 on Billy Joe. I mean, not Billy Joe, on Caleb Plant. Yeah, I don't believe in him. Shout out to my brother Stevie J for the super chat. The Boxing King said that PBC stands for Protected Boxing Club. Absolutely, because they fight all their fights in-house. But to be honest with you, most fighters, most promotional companies do that. You see what I'm saying? I think PBC would be scared to put him forward. But he's doing a lot of talking. Caleb Plant he's going to have to come forward and probably fight. You see what I'm saying? He's going to have to come forward, guys, and probably fight. I'm hoping that Caleb Plant takes the fight. Well, I'll put it this way. I hope that Al Heyman allows Caleb Plant to take the fight. Because these PBC fighters, they talk like they are their own boss. I'm my own boss. I do what I want to do. Bull to the you know what. You're not your own boss. You don't do what you want to do, because if you could be making fights. You wouldn't be crying talking about, I can't get a fight date. PBC need to hurry up and release a schedule and put me on the fight schedule. Listen. Canelo Alvarez is probably the only fighter right now that does what he wants to do when he wants to do it, because he's a free agent. And even when he was with De La Hoya, he did what he wanted to do. He was a free agent, and he's able to say, hey, listen, I'm going to work with this promoter. Like he's working with Eddie Hearn on a fight-by-fight basis. 1 fight, 2 fight, whatever the case may be. And whatever he says he wants done, Eddie Hearn makes it happen. Just like Oscar De La Hoya did. Just like when Anthony Joshua wants to fight someone, Eddie Hearn makes it happen, unless it's Wilder or Fury. You see what I'm saying? Unless it's Wilder or Fury. And I do know that the fight with Fury is supposed to happen August 14th. I'll wait till I see it. But other than that, I'm going to move on from that, because that's a touchy subject for everybody. So I'm going to move on from that. But let's stick to Mr. Caleb Plant. Caleb Ram said Caleb Plant couldn't even stop pussing boots. I mean, Fegan butts. Yeah, Fegan butts. Yeah, I saw that. He couldn't even stop Caleb Truax. And Caleb Truax was slow and got hit with every punch he got hit with every punch that Caleb Plant threw at him. He couldn't stop him. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just being honest with you. Only believe in Jesus, don't believe in no man. Yeah, that's good. That sounds good. Brother, I'm glad you believe in Jesus. I believe in Jesus too. I believe in whatever deity, you know what I mean, that other people believe in. I respect that. But this has nothing to do with boxing. You see what I'm saying? You can believe in whatever God you want to believe in. Right? In the sport of boxing, you win fights based on your skills. I know, because I boxed before for 5 years. I know a lot, and there's a lot of fighters that would tell you got to have faith. You got to believe in yourself. But it's going to take more than faith and belief in yourself when you step in that ring. You got to be able to endure some pain. You got to be able to recover when you get hit with a punch that you did not see. You got to be willing to have the mental fortitude and the mental strength to be able to dig deep and not quit when you get hurt. All of that is what you're going to need. You see what I'm saying? Coach, if there's any kind of champion, he would take the fight. That's what champions do. Paul Burke, I totally agree. You see what I'm saying? Shane, what you say, fam? You said Blue Blood saying Canelo can only win against UK fighters. Oh, let me. Hey, Shane, I'm glad you brought that up. Because this is another narrative for all of you guys in the UK. So Caleb Plant also said on What is it? What is it? Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. Caleb Plant also said on boxingnews24.com that Caleb Plant has went on his European tour and he's just only beating up on UK fighters, and that he is not like other UK fighters, and he will not lose and get beat up like Billy Joe Saunders and the other UK fighters have got beat up. Caleb Plant, sir, you would get beat up like the other UK fighters as well. There's nothing special about you. I get it. You know, the boys in the hood is down with you. The Alphabet Boys is vouching for you. The Alphabet Boys ain't nobody. They ain't nobody. So if you got the Alphabet Boys vouching for you, you ain't got nobody vouching for you because they ain't nobody. They don't believe in you, Caleb Plant. I bet you any amount of money, you can take every letter of the alphabet that represents all of the Alphabet Boys, and you can put all of them together. Not one of them will bet $1 on you, Caleb Plant. Al Heyman is not going to bet any money on you. Jamal Charlo is not going to bet any money on you. Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder, Jamel Charlo, Sean Porter. Not one PBC fighter would bet a dime on Caleb Plant. I bet you that. I bet you $100 and ain't nobody gonna bet a dollar on Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant wife would not bet any money on him. Caleb Plant's father won't bet any money on him. Al Heyman would not bet any money on Caleb Plant. Do you want to know why? Because they don't believe in him like that. They know that Canelo Alvarez is a superior fighter. Period. The boy has the skills to pay the bills. The man hit too hard. He hits too hard right now. You see what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to go through something. There's an old saying, you got to bring some to get some. Nat says you're disrespectful now. Yes, very disrespectful. I don't care nothing about Caleb Plant. This is not the Caleb Plant show. I don't care about Caleb Plant. I don't like Caleb Plant. And yes, if you say I'm being disrespectful, then so be it. Caleb Plant said that the UK fighters are weak and Canelo ran through all the UK fighters. I thought that was disrespectful, but Canelo has beat the UK fighters, right? So he's saying that he's not going to be another one bites the dust. He is the one, the Canelo stopper. So Caleb Plant is the Canelo stopper. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe he is, maybe he's not. I don't believe in him like that. I don't believe in him. But when you say that Canelo Alvarez beating up on UK fighters, there's a lot of American fighters that he's beat up on as well before he went on his UK tour. So let's talk about all those American fighters that he beat. Let's talk about that. Because last time I checked, Canelo ain't discriminating right. He hasn't discriminated. He's whooped up on some Mexican fighters. I know that he said that he's not fighting any more Mexican fighters, but you look at his record, he's had 56 fights. He hasn't fought 56 fighters from the UK. He fought some fighters from the US as well. And they bit the dust. The only one that has beat him was Floyd Mayweather. Now, I do understand that. I do feel like that Canelo Alvarez did lose the first Triple G fight. He clearly won, in my opinion, the second Triple G fight. I do feel like that he lost the first Triple G fight. And a lot of people say that he lost the Laurel fight. I saw that fight. I would even give you that. But he didn't, but he got the decision. We do know that the sport of boxing is a corrupt sport. But we're talking about right now, today. The Canelo who fought Laura 7 years ago, or whatever the case may be, is not the Canelo of today. The Canelo of today is a bad boy. Canelo is a better fighter in 2021 than he was in 2013 and in 2014 and in 2015. The 2021 version of Canelo is a better fighter than he was in 2013, 14, 15, and 16. He's a better fighter. And that's just me looking at the eye test. So somebody who believes in Caleb Plant, someone please tell me, just give me anything. I give you the benefit of the doubt. Tell me something that Caleb Plant is bringing to the table that he can do to stop Canelo. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Tell me something that Caleb Plant. I just want one thing. Brennan, hold on. I'm finna talking to you right now, sir. Michael Buffer. Plant collecting his retirement check because he knows he can't win. He's probably watching this show, Coach. I don't blame him for trying to get more money. Yes, he should get more money. Brennan, my brother Brennan says, I disagree, but only one way to find out if you're right or wrong. Brennan, I want to ask you a question, sir. Can you please tell me what is it that Caleb Plant does that is going to surprise Canelo Alvarez? You're rooting for Caleb Plant. There's nothing wrong with that, sir. Nothing wrong with that. I'm happy that we found one fan of Caleb Plant. I'm happy that we found one fan. Pretty sure he's a fan. You're a fan, Brennan. I think his wife is his fan. The Alphabet Boys. They not really fans of Caleb Plant. I'm just telling you. They just hate Canelo. There's a difference between being a fan of a guy and hating the opponent that the guy that you're rooting for is going to fight. So anybody can tell me, is there anything that Caleb Plant that you have seen thus far? What is it that he brings to the table that's going to give Canelo problems? What is it that Caleb Plant brings to the table that convinces you, Brennan, that he will beat Canelo? That's what I want to know, sir. Educate me. Because I've only seen like seven, probably six. I want to say, yeah, maybe six Caleb Plant's fights. And out of the six I was not impressed at all. And the guys he fought were C-class fighters. Caleb Plant is a B-class fighter to me. C plus, B. He's a C plus, B-class fighter. I give him that. Caleb Plant has not fought a plus fighter in his whole career, but he's only had 21 fights, 21 or 22 fights. You see what I'm saying? So, is there anything, sir? Mikey C, what you say, fam? The new PBC fan base thing is full of it. They've been hating on Canelo and now want him to join the PBC. And what virtual world? Yes, I saw that. I saw the video that one of the Alphabet Boys put together on Mickey C. I seen one of the videos they put out saying, Canelo might come to the PBC. No, sir. Canelo is going to sign back with Eddie Hearn for another 2 fights or whatever the case may be. He says he loves and he enjoys working with Eddie Hearn. So the Alphabet Boys, their whole narrative is PBC. Like PBC is this great company, boxing company. And all the fighters on the PBC are millionaires and they're making unheard of money. False. I just done a whole lot of research on the PBC and all of their fighters. When I drop this live or this premiere video that I'm going to drop on the PBC, it's really going to shock you guys. The PBC fighters are struggling and they're broke. All of your the guys who saying, call Al, we get, Al Heyman is the man. We getting paid. He makes sure we get plenty of money. It's not true. Now, are there fighters on the PBC that's making money? Of course they are. Deontay Wilder is making money on the PBC. Errol Spence is making money on the PBC. Sean Porter, he made a little change with the PBC, a little something. Keith Thurman made a little something over there. Those are 4 fighters. Those are the 4. Mikey Garcia, He made a little something over there. Oh, yeah, and my main man, Adrian Broner. He made a little something over there. The rest of your fighters, including the Charlos, they got a net worth of $1 million, $1.5 million, stuff like that. They go around wearing big jewelry. We living in mansions. We got cars. We got all this stuff. You can tell. You see what I'm saying? They got all this stuff. But I'm telling you, those guys ain't making money like that. The PBC has a plethora of fighters. The PBC has over 100 fighters that they have under contract with them. And out of 100, I named you 6 that are making money, that are comfortable, that are doing good. Adrian Broner would be making money and doing good, but he blowed his money. You see what I'm saying? He blowed his money. So I named you 6 fighters who eating good and making money with the PBC out of over 100. And if you want to argue, we can argue. I give you 10 fighters for argument's sake. But I've done my research. I've done what you guys haven't done yet. I've done my research, and I'm going to drop a video nuking their ass. I'm going to show you Uncle Al ain't who you think he is. Mr. Al Heyman, who don't give interviews, he don't talk. And I'm not banging on Al Heyman. I'm just saying that a lot of these fighters are saying that, yeah, we're Al Heyman. We're Al Heyman. Come to the PBC. For what? Let me tell you something, guys. When you have a plethora of fighters on with your company, everybody can't eat the same. You got the big dogs and you have the little dogs. The PBC has 5 or 6 big dogs and everything else is little dogs. So little dogs ain't eating with the PBC. Antonio, guys, what do you say, fam? You say, why Canelo chose to unify the 168 division and not 160? I have no idea, Antonio. I have no idea. Canelo had an opportunity to become undisputed at 160. All he had to do was fight Boo Boo Andrade, and he refused to fight him. And he moved up to 168, then he went to 175, then he's back down to 168. I have no idea. I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question. My main man, Brendan Smith, said he can use his jab and reach, but I'm more of a Tyson Fury fan. I think Tank Davis, and Tyson Fury fan and Tank Davis, just because they make people mad. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not trying to deflect and talk about Tyson Fury. We're not trying to deflect and talk about Tank Davis. So basically, you're saying that you think he can use his jab and reach. So Brennan said that he think that Caleb Plant's jab and reach can be the determining factor on how he can beat Canelo Alvarez. The only problem with that is most people who Canelo fight has a reach advantage over him and they have a height advantage over him. You see what I'm saying? And when they get in front of him and when they jab, I'm going to explain something to you guys about counterpunching. Paul Burke, what you say, fam? Coach, it's funny how when these fighters say they are better fighters than AJ and Canelo, but they want retirement money. Yes, as a matter of fact, not only do they want retirement money, Paul Burke, they don't even want to put in the work that AJ and Canelo is putting in. I.e., Jamal Charlo is at 160 pounds, and he's not even fighting anyone in 160 pounds to become even a unified champion, let alone the undisputed champion. You see what I'm saying? So Plant made $750,000. I don't understand what is disrespectful part of $8 million. Exactly. Ivan, man, let me tell you something. If I made $750,000 and you offer me $8 million to come in there and fight, man, listen, I'm coming to fight for them $8 million. You can believe that. I'm coming to fight for them $8 million. $8 million is not disrespectful. When y'all go to talking about we want 10 and 15 and 20 million to fight Canelo when your biggest payday has been $750,000, come on, man. Cut it out. I'm Philly Fly. What you said? Yeah, I saw that video. It's like Al Heyman is there, Elijah Muhammad. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. These dudes ain't making no money like that, man. Over there. I'm broke and happy. What you say? Bottle Jack. Yeah, Bottle Jack ain't making no money over there. Bottle Jack don't even have enough fights. You listen, Bottle Jack fight everywhere, once every 2 years. The Boxing King, what you say, fam? They broke over there. They just looking for a payday. Yeah, absolutely. Michael Buffer, what you say, fam? Coach, Eddie and Canelo can choose where he can fight. Eddie said the fight doesn't have to be on the zone. PBC, Al Heyman might want it to be on PBC because they're broke and it's their last belt. Yeah, exactly. Eddie Hearn did say that. Because the way, this is how bosses move. See, when you hear Errol Spence and these PBC fighters, and I say Errol Spence in particularly because he is the one that says, I'm my own boss. Hold on. Errol Spence and the Charlos, I'm my own boss. I got my own promotion to the company. I do what I want to do. I move how I want to move. I do what I want to do. I'm my own boss. But you say, call Al. You never hear Canelo Alvarez say, call Eddie Hearn. Canelo tells Eddie Hearn, look, I want to do A, B, C, and D. I want to fight this guy, and this guy. And tell him I'm going to offer him this. The promoter works for the fighter, not the other way around. With the PBC, call Al. Do you want to know why? Because they work for Al. Now I know what you're saying. They don't work for Al. Al Heyman is just an advisor, and he is their manager. They cannot do what Canelo does. They cannot do what Anthony Joshua does. These guys pick and choose who they want to fight when they want to fight them, whether you agree with it or not. And they say, hey, tell them we're going to offer them this. And the promoter goes over there and make that fight happen. With the PBC, it's the total opposite. They have to do with what Al Heyman tells them to do. Al Heyman say, look, check this out, boy. You're going to go fight this dude. This is how much we're going to pay you. And that's that. Because Al Heyman, with his hedge fund and his connections with the networks, they have the money. So whoever has the money controls the fighter. Whoever has the purse controls the fighter, dictates everything. So while you're wearing your gold chain, while you're booed up with Yellow Beezy, giving them sugar on the neck, while you riding in your luxury cars, and they do got some nice cars, I ain't gonna lie. They do got some nice cars. Luxury cars, living like a rapper, you got to call Al Heyman. You got a net worth of $1 million. $1.5 million, $1.75 million. Charlos. Your biggest fight has been $750,000. Errol Spence is doing good. He got $8 million. He got a net worth of $8 million. So Errol Spence is doing good. Keith Thurman is doing good. Sean Porter, he doing a little something. He got a net worth of $5 million. Deontay Wilder is the cash cow over there with the PBC. He's the guy. Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is the cash cow of the PBC. You see what I'm saying? And Deontay Wilder, with all due respect to him, Deontay Wilder lives his life very simple. That's one thing I do like about Wilder. As much trash as I talk about him with twerking and talking about having babies and getting pregnant and making excuses, I give him his props. He does live his life very simple. And Deontay Wilder has accomplished a lot in the sport of boxing financially. Can't take that from Deontay Wilder. Can't nobody take that from him. You see what I'm saying? OG says that Canelo couldn't unify due to Golden Boy setting him up to get his belt stripped. He was planning to fight Boo Boo after Sergey Derevchenko mandatory. Yeah, I heard about that. OG. That's why he left. That's why he ended up kicking what's the name to the curb. Mickey C, what do you say, fam? You say fast, coach. Uncle Al is like Samuel L. Jackson in Django. People better pay attention. Let's see. Smith and Kovalev thought so too. Wait a minute. Imperial Kingdom said Canelo clearly ducked Boo Boo, but Nello beats Boo Boo. Definitely. Boo Boo is not active enough. Okay. Let's see. Let me read everybody's comments. I want to address everybody's comments. So my main man Brennan said that hold on. Hey, shout out to my brother Blood, man. I ain't even see him in there. Retro Boxing and Documentary. So anybody, man, y'all go follow my main man Retro Boxing. I hope y'all can hear the Ali bell, man. If you can't hear it, man, I need to figure out what the hell is going on. Canelo is a boss for real. So is Pacquiao. Canelo is the boss. Pacquiao is the boss. Anthony Joshua is the boss. I think that's it. in the sport of boxing. Everybody else, they can't make a move until their advisors and handlers tell them to. See, Eddie Hearn said that I work for Anthony Joshua. Joshua is my boss. This is what I've never heard a promoter say that before in my life. You'll never hear Al Heyman say, "Listen, I work for these fighters. I'm they're my boss." You'll never hear what's my main man name? Bob Arum say, I work for Terrence Crawford. I do what Terrence Crawford tell me to do. You'll never hear that. You'll never hear Don King say that. You'll never hear Frank Warren say that. You'll never hear any of these promoters say that. But Eddie Hearn say that he works for Anthony Joshua, not the other way around. You see what I'm saying? That's when you know you're a boss. You're a boss when you have a promoter comes out in public and say, "You know what? I work for that guy. And whatever that guy tells me to do, that's what I must do." Ain't no bosses in the PBC. Want to know how I know? Efren, what you say, fam? It's like when dudes say I run things at home, but gotta ask their wife, can't they go out like that? Hey, Efren, you hit the nail right on the head, fam. You hit the nail. Hey, I gotta give you the hit the Ali bell for that. Let's see. Toby Barlett said, Charlo said, they tell me who to fight and I fight them. Exactly. They say they own bosses with the PBC. They're not. You know what I mean? So we're gonna get on this counterpunching too, because I want to address my main man, Brennan. Brennan said that what you say, you say that he can use his boxing IQ. Okay, well, you believe in Caleb Plant. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. You're in the minority, but there's nothing wrong with that. You see what I'm saying? Thomas Vasey, you say that Caleb going to sleep in the 7th round, you giving him the benefit of the doubt. He won't see 7. He'll be asleep by the 4th or 5th. The 6th tops. Because by the time Canelo figure him out, and once he feels Canelo's power, all that stuff is going out of the window. Now, Brennan, let me address you right quick, fam. Ivan, what you say, fam? This guy skipped biggest paydays on the fight for pennies. If he would have took down the Kawanaki fight, he misses $7 million against AJ to beat. For beating what you say for Hellenius. Yeah, Hellenius for 100K. Yeah, exactly. So let me say what's up. Brennan, what you say, fam? He can use his ring IQ. Okay, he can use his ring IQ. The only problem with that, sir, is when you said that Caleb Plant, he can use his jab, this and that. This is the problem. Do you want to know why when these taller, bigger fighters, when they fight Canelo Alvarez, sir, they get gun shy and they keep their hands in their pocket? I know you probably never boxed before, so I'm explaining it to you. When you're fighting a counter puncher does what? He sets traps. He's waiting on you to open yourself up. When you throw a punch and you are on the offensive, you are opening yourself up to what? Counter punches. The thing is with Canelo Alvarez, he doesn't throw a lot of punches. But when he throws a punch, 9 times out of 10, that punch is going to land. And when it lands, it's going to hurt. And when it hurts, that means he hits you very hard. So what happens is these fighters, when they feel Canelo's power, they get gun shy. That jab that they thought they had, that they can use as a weapon to control their opponent, it's not going to work against Canelo. I want to say, Retro, Mikey ain't no damn boss. Yeah, I don't know. I was just giving him the benefit of the doubt, Retro. I really don't know, to be honest with you, fam. I really don't know, to be honest with you. But I was just giving him the benefit of the doubt, because there might be some people who may argue that. So, you know what I mean? But that's the problem. You see what I'm saying? When you're fighting a really good counter puncher that hits hard like Canelo, this is why when fighters get in front of him, they look good against his other fighters. But when they get in front of Canelo and they see how hard he's hitting, they see that I threw this jab, he slipped and he caught me with a liver shot. I threw this hook, he slipped it and caught me with a body shot to the ribs. They immediately go into retreat mode. See, ring IQ, height advantage, reach advantage, all of that goes out of the window when you feel that pain. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So this is the difference. I get it. Caleb Plant does have a jab. Caleb Plant is quick. Caleb Plant is all of that in the bag of chips. But all of that is not going to do him any good when he gets in the ring. Listen, let me tell you something. Billy Joe Saunders is a great fighter. Forget whether you think he quit or not. That's irrelevant. Billy Joe Saunders is a great fighter. Billy Joe Saunders came to fight that night. He took the crime to Canelo Alvarez. He kept ducking his head. He got caught with that uppercut. And everything changed from that point on. It was at that point. It wasn't even at that point. It was some body shots that Billy Joe was getting hit with too. When he went to the ropes and he balled up and Canelo teed off on him and was hitting him with hooks to the body. Billy Joe Saunders knew right then there was a problem. But Billy Joe came to fight. Do you think that Caleb Plant is that much of a superior fighter over Billy Joe Saunders? No, I don't think so. Canelo Alvarez has a high ring boxing IQ. This is why he's able to cut the ring off. So, Brennan, when you say that Caleb Plant can use his ring IQ, he's only had 21 fights. What ring IQ? And is this ring IQ more superior than Canelo's? Hell to the no. You see what I'm saying? And when he see how hard this guy Canelo hits, they're going to see what time it is. The ring IQ going out of the window. Because when you feel how hard another fighter hits, do you know what goes through a fighter's mind? Survival. If you never fought before in the ring, you won't understand this. When you get in the ring with someone that hits very hard, your whole game plan goes out of the window. This is what you don't got to understand, Brennan. But I noticed you said something. You don't bet. You probably did bet before. But now when it comes to Caleb Plant, you don't bet no more. I'm not saying that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised. Because you don't believe in Caleb Plant like that. Ivan, what you say, brother? You say Plant have a little more than average jab. Yeah, that's it. They call him Sweet Hands for a reason. Y'all don't believe in Caleb Plant like that. Bro, what you say? Child to the please. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, that's my word. Child to the please. Miss me with that. You know what? No, I got my kids here, so I can't get crunk. Diallo Huggy, shout out to my brother Diallo Huggy, man. What you say, fam? I don't know as far as power, coach. Jose Uzcategui had a lot of power, and Plant never retreated in that fight. However, Canelo has a better ring IQ. Yeah, I'm just saying, Uzcategui, he's all right. He's a good fighter. But we do know Diallo Huggy, Caleb Plant. This is the thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Diallo Huggy. Because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hype up Caleb Plant. I'm going about this all wrong, guys. So I want to retract everything I see. Brennan, you got a point, sir. Caleb Plant is the guy. Caleb Plant is the great white hope. He is the one that the PBC, he is the one that the Alphabet Boys are hoping that's going to be the one that's going to stop Canelo Alvarez. So this is what I'm going to do. In honor of Caleb Plant, we're going to put some respect on his name. We're going to respect it. Caleb Plant is that guy. So for all of you Canelo Alvarez fans out there, Caleb Plant is the guy that has the style to not only beat Canelo, but possibly stop him. If you are a Caleb Plant fan, if you are a Canelo Alvarez fan, you are going to have to come to the realization that Caleb Plant is that guy. They call him Sweet Hands for a reason, because he's sweet. You see what I'm saying? Caleb Plant is the fighter that Canelo Alvarez has never faced. Canelo Alvarez has not faced a fighter as slick as Caleb Plant. Canelo Alvarez has never faced a fighter that has a defense better than Caleb Plant. Canelo Alvarez has never faced a fighter that has footwork like Caleb Plant. Canelo Alvarez has never faced a fighter that's smooth as Caleb Plant. Canelo Alvarez never faced a fighter that had the hood backing him up like Caleb Plant. Canelo Alvarez never faced a fighter that was bad like Caleb Plant. You see what I'm saying? So for all of you Canelo Alvarez fans out there, understand that Caleb Plant, he's not even a tree, he's a plant. So that's going to tell you something. The man is not even a tree. He's not an oak tree. He's not a redwood tree. You see what I'm saying? He's not a coconut tree. He is a plant. So you are trying to convince me, Alphabet Boy community, that Caleb Plant is going to beat Mr. Cinnamon, Canelo Alvarez. So what I'm going to say is this here. We're going to put some respect on Caleb Plant's name. Even though he's not a tree, he's a plant. How can I bet on a plant? I tell you what, though. So we're going to put some respect on Caleb Plant's name. I was wrong, guys. I was wrong. Come on, coach. I thought I accidentally clicked on financial. You know you. Listen, guys, we gotta listen. We can't be on here pulling on Canelo because you know that's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say, "Oh, he's pulling on Canelo. Oh, he's riding Canelo jock." So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put some respect, not respect with a T, respect on Caleb Plant's name. Even though he's not a tree, he's a plant. You're trying to tell me that a plant, he's not even a marijuana plant. He's not even a marijuana plant. Let's super chat. Shout out to my brother Ronald Finkley. Ronald Finkley say, only trust real plants, not boxers. Listen, what kind of plant is Caleb Plant? Is he a weed plant? Is he a poison ivy plant? You see what I'm saying? Like, what kind of plant he is? Shout out to my brother, Brum your mom, for the super chat. What kind of plant he is? That's what I want to know. Is he a we got the poison ivy plant. We got the we know what he can't be. Is he a marijuana plant? Is he a rose or a dandelion? What kind of plant he is? That's what I want to know. To all of the Caleb Plant fans out there, what my main man Brennan? Brennan, you convinced me, fam. You got me on the Caleb Plant bandwagon. I started this show out banging on Caleb Plant. I changed my position, guys. Plant is the guy. Plant is the guy. Listen, is he a weed plant? Sweet hands is what they call him. They say he got sweet hands. Sweet. You see what I'm saying? What kind of plant he is? Oh, what Joe, what you say? A Venus flytrap plant. Okay. I will say that you a fanboy. Will, you say I'm a fanboy, huh? Yeah, I'm a fanboy for Caleb Plant. I'm a fanboy for Caleb Plant, Will. That's what I am, a fanboy for Caleb Plant. So, Will, what kind of plant is Caleb Plant, sir? I'm a fanboy for Caleb Plant. White chocolate is what they call him. He from the hood. The hood has backing up Caleb Plant. The hood got Caleb Plant back, according to what the Alphabet Boy channel say. You see what I'm saying? According to what they say. Will say, but no boxing IQ. Okay. But yet you are here, Will. Yet you are here. There's a lot of other channels you can go to. You don't have to be here, sir. You can go to any other channel. We won't miss you. Anyways, now, so we're going to give Caleb Plant his props. Caleb Plant. I don't know what kind of plant he is, but we're going to give Caleb Plant his props. You know, they say that Caleb Plant, he comes from a hell of a story. He came up in the hood, and he grew up in the hood around a lot of blacks, and the brothers was backing him up, and yada 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 yada. That what the hell I got to do with fighting Canelo? And the crazy part about it, I haven't heard anybody saying anything about Caleb Plant for years. And since I started my channel in January, I haven't heard anybody say anything about Caleb Plant. But now he's the Paul Wall of the division. He's the John B of the division. He's the Justin Timberlake of the division. He's the Color Me Bad of the division. He's the Robin Thicke of the division. Oh man. No, don't do that. He getting the unanimous decision. Okay. Ote, like buckwheat. Ote. All right. Brennan. Yes, sir. So I'm riding with Brennan. There are 2 Caleb Plant fans today. Guys, my main man, Brennan Smith, he's here to represent for Caleb Plant, Mr. White Chocolate himself. And I'm representing for Caleb Plant. You see, I got my Team Jesus shirt on. Do you want to know why I'm wearing Team Jesus? Because we are going to have to pray for Caleb Plant. We're going to say a special prayer for the plant. He's not a weed plant, because a weed plant will be kind of strong. He's not a poison ivy plant, because that will make him dangerous. He's not a coconut plant, because that will grow up into a big, strong tree. He's not even a tree. He's a plant. You see what I'm saying? So, as my brother Retro would say, blood. He's the John B of the division. He's the Color Me Bad of the division. He's the Robin Thicke of the division, as I said before. He's the Justin Timberlake of the division. He's the Sam Smith of the division. He's that guy that's going to come through and stop Canelo Alvarez. I got money on Caleb Plant. I am betting on Caleb Plant. I'm a bet on Caleb Plant. You want to know why? Because my main man, Brennan Smith, is here representing for Caleb Plant. I'm betting on Caleb. Guess what I'm going to bet, though? I'm betting that he get his ass knocked out in the 4th or 5th round. That's what I'm betting. That's the only bet I'm betting. But I believe in Caleb Plant. Will, y'all need to hit up IBFP to save you from this wolf in sheep clothing preaching about something he doesn't understand. Switching lanes like girls switch clothes. I'm out, y'all. Peace. We ain't never asked you to come over here. Will. Peace. This is probably somebody from the Alphabet Boy community. This is somebody who is the pro-PBC narrative guy. They come over here and come to my channel, then they go back and report to the Alphabet Boy channel, and then they come over here, and then they want to troll and stuff like that. You guys can't, you trolls can't hurt my feelings, man. You can't hurt my feelings. I have fun. I have fun with these with the trolls, guys. When the trolls come in the chat, I have fun with them. They are hilarious. But we're gonna have to say a prayer for the plant. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of plant he is. Why his name is not Caleb Tree? Because a tree is something that's strong and powerful, especially when the tree grows and have deep roots. He's still a plant. He ain't a tree yet. Yeah, Drive. Yeah, he sounded very salty. See, I automatically know where they're from based on what they say. They come from. I'm telling you guys, I have a lot of Alphabet Boy fanboys come on my channel. You want to know how I know? Because when I look at my comments, because YouTube filters out, they have comments that they let go, and they have comments that they filter out. And when I go to look at all of my comments, and I go to the filtered section, I see all kind of stuff. They call me the fanboys of the Alphabet Boy community. They call me a sellout. They say I'm an Uncle Tom. They say I'm a coon. They say when they see me, they're going to pull up on me. That's what they tell me. Alphabet Boy fanboys, I don't believe you, as Deontay Wilder would say. You ain't pulling up on nobody. I don't believe you. I am not afraid of you. You are keyboard gangsters. The toughest thing that you ever did in your life was push the return key of the shift button or the command button on your keyboard. That's the toughest thing that you ever did. So anytime a man has time to come on somebody else's channel and threaten him, you automatically know he ain't about it. He is a studio gangster. You are the NWA of YouTube. You ain't gonna do nothing. You have never done anything. And you can't spell pull up. You can call me whatever names you want. I don't care. I have thick skin. I don't get offended easy. If I dish it, I can take it. But anyways, let's get back to Mr. Caleb Plant. So I bet that Caleb Plant getting knocked out in about the 4th or 5th round. That's what I bet. Caleb Plant is a good fighter when he's fighting C-class fighters. I have never seen him fight an A-class fighter. So I can't say how good Caleb Plant is. If you've never seen him in there with the creme de la creme, how can you say he would do this to the creme de la creme? He's never fought David Benavidez. Some say he ducked out of that fight twice. Right? Some say he ducked out of that fight twice. In negotiations. There's other fighters that he probably could have fought that he didn't fight. Hell, he could have fought some of those same fighters that Canelo fought in order to get the other 3 belts. But he didn't fight him. So, let's see. Somebody said, Maritza said, let's give Caleb Plant the benefit of the doubt. I am giving him the benefit of the doubt, Maritza. I'm giving him the benefit that he would go at least 4 or 5 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. That's the benefit of the doubt that I'm giving him. You see what I'm saying? The benefit is he would go 4 or 5 rounds. The doubt comes in. I doubt he make it to the 6th or 7th round. So we're going to give, like Maritza says, and my sister Maritza, I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad because you don't agree with them. You clearly have your own mind. Yeah, that's what it is. You know, somebody called Caleb Plant and give him some water. Hey, listen, I think Plant gets KO'd in the 10th round because he runs a lot. Tex Mex, That's now you make a valid point. I just think that Canelo's going to cut the ring off. He ain't gonna be able to run. I think he cuts the ring off. He won't be able to run. That's just my opinion. But we're going to give Caleb Plant the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give him the benefit of going 4 to 5 rounds. I'm gonna give him the doubt that he make it to the 6th or 7th round. If Billy Joe Saunders went 8 rounds with Canelo, he could have went 9 if he would have came out the corner and just took a knee. Caleb Plant to go about 5 rounds. You know what? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maritza, you're right. I'm going to give him 6 rounds. Caleb Plant to go 6 rounds. Red 7 said Caleb Plant's ring walk music would be in sync. In sync. Hey, that's a good one, man. In sync. Okay. So, Caleb Plant. Oh, he's an eggplant. That's a good one. Joe G said he's an eggplant. Caleb, eggplant. Mr. Sweet Hands is what they call him. What you say? What you say? Hooligan music. You say Coach Plant. Coach Plant get 3 rounds like in order to get a pay. And listen, hooligan music. I'm gonna give him at least 4 rounds. I'm gonna give him about 4 or 5 rounds. I'm gonna give him 6 rounds. Peter Barnard say that is Billy Joe Saunders a better boxer than Plant? To be honest with you, Peter, I think they're very similar. The only difference is Billy Joe Saunders is a southpaw. Billy Joe Saunders is a very slick fighter. Caleb Plant, I can't really say because listen, I'm gonna tell you this, Caleb. Because Billy Joe Saunders fought David Lemieux. He fought what's my brother name? Eubanks Jr. And he fought Lee. So Billy Joe Saunders has he's fought some better competition that you can measure him up to. Caleb Plant, I can't really measure him up to anybody. Now he did beat Uzkataki. No, not Uzkataki. I keep forgetting the guy's name. Yeah, but y'all know who I'm talking about. He did beat that guy. I'll start with a U, but other than that, that's it. A lot of the fights that I've seen he's had, I think I've only seen him have like 6 fights. They've been C-class fighters. He's fought a lot of C-class fighters, so it's kind of hard for me to know who he has fought, what he would do. Because he's fought a lot of C-class fighters. And he's only had 21 fights. So you got to take that into consideration as well. You see what I'm saying? Alphabet boys don't really like white fighters. They don't like Spanish fighters neither. But with Plant, he's an exception because he's under Al Heyman supervision. Exactly. Alphabet Boys is a pro PBC fight club. So if you're with the PBC, they love you. If you're not with the PBC, they don't like you. Period. Philly Fly said yes, he'll be lucky to make 6 rounds. Brennan said Benavidez lost to himself. You're right about that, Brennan. Benavidez couldn't make weight. So Benavidez has nobody to blame but himself. But Benavidez is a PBC fighter. So my point is, Brennan, because Benavidez is the PBC fighter and Caleb Plant is the PBC fighter, and they're in the same division, they should have fought each other. This is proof, guys, that just because you're with the PBC, that doesn't mean that you're going to get a fight. Because Benavidez is with the PBC, right? He has other PBC fighters that do not want to fight him. Ligarius, what do you say, fam? Their fight would be outside, no ring. Hey, listen, Mr. Sweet Cheeks. hey, Sus. Hey, man, listen, man, I ain't gonna let y'all be talking about my dog Caleb Plant like that, man. Y'all not gonna be talking about Caleb Plant like that. Mr. Sweet Cheeks is going to be his new name when Canelo stops him. Oh, man. Y'all need to cut it out, man. Hey, he call him Mr. Sweet Cheeks. It's probably not even their keyboard coach. Oh, yeah. Listen, y'all say Mr. Sweet Cheeks. Man, don't do the man like that, man. Listen, so just because you're with the PBC doesn't mean you're going to get PBC fights. Benavidez is a 168-pounder. He's in the same weight division as Caleb Plant. But yet he can't get that fight with Caleb Plant. So that tells you everything you need to know. The quality of boxing isn't there anymore. Exactly. Cool 1, 2, 3. The quality of boxing isn't there anymore. Joe G. Valdez, Canelo going to the BBC. No, sir, that's fake news. That's you heard that from Blue Blood Sports TV. You know how I know you heard that from Blue Blood Sports TV? Because he's the first guy that put that out there. Canelo's not going to the PBC. You heard that from Blue Blood Sports TV, the Alphabet Boy channel. That's where you heard it from. So you're quoting a fake, a false source, Joe. That's where that came from. I can show you a video where Canelo is signing right back with Eddie Hearn. He said he has a good relationship with Eddie Hearn, and they have a really good business relationship. He ain't thinking about no PBC. What does the PBC have to offer Canelo? Nothing. They ain't got nothing to offer Canelo. Why would he go over there? Hey, text message, that's what you say, Uzkataki. That's his name, Uzkataki. He almost got knocked out. He barely beat Uzkataki. He almost got knocked out. Exactly. Exactly. Ronald Finkley, yeah, I love Teofimo Lopez. That guy good, man. Teofimo the real deal. Teofimo the real deal. Fly trap. Okay. Let's see. Analia, what do you say, sis? You say on PBC is trash, just my honest opinion. Yeah. I think you got a point about that. They got some good fighters over there. They got some good fighters over there. Anali, they got some good fighters over there, sis, but they for some reason a lot of their fighters can't get fights, and you have a lot of PBC fighters that can't get fights with each other. There's only like the top fighters, and this is what I want to say, guys. This is what I want to say. When you're with the company like the PBC, when you with a company like the PBC, Analia, and you have over 100 fighters, everybody can't eat. You see what I'm saying? Only the creme de la creme is going to be the ones to eat. They're going to eat the lion's share of the money. So you got Deontay Wilder, number 1. You have Errol Spence, number 2. That's why they talk about him, promote him as much. You have the Charlos, number 3 and 4. Sean Porter lost his lackluster, and Keith Thurman hasn't fought anybody. So really, the PBC is really only down to 4 fighters. They got Sean Porter. He's going to eat. They have Tank Davis. Tank Davis is really with Floyd Mayweather. Tank Davis is really he's on contract with Floyd Mayweather. But you have Analia. You have I give you, for argument's sake, sis, I give them Keith Thurman and I give them Sean Porter. So when you only have 6 fighters that's making the money, eating the lion's share of the pie, and the rest of those guys ain't making nothing. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. This is what happens when you have a bunch of fighters on one roster. And it's not just the PBC. It can be with Matchroom, same thing. It could be with Top Rank, same thing. When you have a bunch of fighters and they are not elite fighters, they will not make the money that the elite fighters will make because there's no demand for them. You see what I'm saying? So that's that's what that is. That's what that is. Hooligan music. What do you say? I will pay Blue Blood to get in the ring with me. That boy lied too much. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Rocket Andrade, what do you say, fam? They saying Wilder left JD's, coach. Yeah, I don't know how true that is. I don't think JD's would be in the corner with him anymore. But I don't know if he left him or not. To be honest with you, Rocket Andrade, I really don't know if he left him or not. You know what I mean? Because JD's been with Deontay Wilder ever since the beginning. You see what I'm saying? Caleb Plant Ringwalk is going to be Everybody Loves the Sunshine. Yeah. What you say, JC? Does Canelo KO's Truax? Oh, absolutely, man. Come on, man. You ought to know the answer to that. You ought to know the answer to that. If he was able to stop Billy Joe Saunders, and Billy Joe Saunders is a way far superior fighter than Truax. Truax has had his best days have been behind him. You know for a fact Canelo stops him. He don't even go 12 rounds. Leo Sam, what you say? My new favorite channel. Let's ring the Ali bell for Sam. I really appreciate that, man. Hey guys, listen, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. If you haven't liked, please hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and share the video. You see what I'm saying? So, JC, yeah, he stops Truox. He stops him. True Alpha says, yeah, the big names in the PBC don't fight each other. Kind of the same with the zone, except for Canelo fights. Yeah, exactly. And True Alpha, that's just the way it is. Like when you see like these. Now, I will say this: Bob Arum is giving us the Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor fight, but that's the in-house fight. So basically, you know, these companies, all of them do it. They just fight in-house fighters. We're gonna have our fighters are gonna fight. They're only gonna fight fighters with their company. So the thing is, James Burrell, what do you say, fam? Plant got a belt Canelo once. He isn't the biggest option for Canelo. Triple G is still a bigger fight than Plant. Andrade, Bivol, and Charlo are bigger fights too, in my opinion. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Those are bigger fights. You know what I mean? So you're right about that. And I will say this, guys. I gotta be honest. Canelo did get stripped of his belt. He did have and when he was at 160. I guess it was a screw up by from Oscar De La Hoya, which I think that's where the rift came at between those two. And he could have fought Andrade at 160, but he didn't fight him. But I don't know what the reasons were. Some people say Canelo was ducking Andrade. He was afraid of Andrade. I don't know. I'm not going to go that far, but I do know that we do know Oscar De La Hoya was having drug problems and on coke and drinking and stuff like that. And you know, Canelo lost one of his belts at 160, and he fell out with De La Hoya from that point on. So I don't know. But yeah, the PBC fighters, they don't fight. The big names don't fight each other. You only have a few names. You only have a few of those guys that's eating over there, guys. So when you hear people like say that brother out in the UK, Rap Star, shout out to Rap Star, telling me that, yeah, man, Al Heyman is the best thing that ever happened to boxing. And look what he's doing. And look, and all the PBC fighters, they pray to Al Heyman. Though he said they thank Al Heyman before they thank God. I'm like, dude, what have you been smoking? Like literally. Like, what have you been smoking? My brother Rapstar seen 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 fighters that are upper echelon praise Al Heyman. And he assumed that those 1 or 2 or 3 fighters represent all of the 160 or 140 or 50 fighters that PBC has, and think that everybody loves them. You can't listen to 3 or 4 fighters who say they love Al Heyman and then say that, hey, man, those 3 fighters represent the entire roster of PBC fighters. They don't. Those fighters represent themselves. If I have a good relationship with Top Rank and I'm making money, I'm going to have high regards and I'm going to give Top Rank praise. But there's a fighter that's in the middle of the pack or at the bottom of the totem pole, he's probably going to feel the total opposite of the way I feel. PBC is not this company that fighters die and go to heaven to be a part of, and they become millionaires and have wealth beyond their wildest dreams. I even had a guy tell me that Al Heyman, he take care of all of his fighters. None of them are complaining. This guy clearly don't know what the hell he's talking about. And when I asked him, I said, look, show me some facts on that. He can't show me. He can't show me. You want to know why he can't show me? Because it's not there. And he is biased towards Al Heyman. So instead of saying that it is of my opinion that Al Heyman take care of all of his fighters, for you to say that, you would have to talk to all of his fighters. Don't tell me 1 fighter or 2 fighters or even 10 fighters that's happy with Al Heyman. For every 10 fighters that's happy with Al Heyman, there's 20 that's not happy with him. Shout out to Eliezer Feliciano. Shout out to you. Let's ring the Ali bell. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You see what I'm saying? So, and this is the thing. And then you have these alphabet boy channels. They have to be on the payroll. I've never seen people promote a company, promotional company, like these fans do today. These fanboys do today. I don't care about no promotional company. I care about watching the best fighters fight the best fighters. You see what I'm saying? True Alpha said Canelo didn't duck Andrade because, based on some research, he lost his belt for not fighting the Darianchenko. Canelo didn't fight Darianchenko because of the problem with Golden Boy and was in court, so he was stripped. Yeah. True Alpha, you're right about that. But what I'm trying to say, True Alpha, the narrative is Canelo ducked Andrade. This is the narrative, and the narrative is coming from who? The alphabet boys. True Alpha. I promise you, brother. The narrative is coming from the alphabet boys. They said that Andrade, hell, even Clarissa Shields said the same thing. She said Canelo Alvarez had the opportunity to become undisputed. He could have fought Andrade. He ducked Andrade. And even I was foolish enough to say that one time. I said that before too. So I have to admit that I even made a mistake on that. But then I later learned what you said was true on True Alpha. So I have to come on here and apologize for speaking on that because I was wrong. I was wrong. What do you say? What does dude say? Why white bum Canelo got to use roids like a bum gender glass gin these roids? All right, brother, I'm not even going to entertain that. That sounds like some yeah, I'm not even going to entertain that. Anyways, none of them can't even get fights. Eliza, you're right about that. None of them can get fights. None of them can get fights. Dragon Leg, what you say, fam? Plant by KO 6 rounds. What you say? Hold on. Are you saying that Plant is going to get KO in 6? Or are you saying that Plant is going to KO Canelo in 6? I just want to be sure. Harold Benson, what do you say? JC, right on, told me he has about 300 or more saved. And I'm at 1080p. Okay. True Alpha, what do you say? Since Canelo lost one of the belts, he said that if he ever became a 4 division champ against the number 1, according to BoxRec and 175. Yeah, you know what I mean? BoxRec is pretty solid. BoxRec is pretty solid. Pretty solid. BoxRec is. Brenda, what do you say? I agree with you. PBC is an odd place. Yeah, I mean, like they're saying that they're saying that wait a minute, this one guy, brother, I don't know what your name is. I think you're a troll. We don't do race baiting over here. This might be the wrong channel for you, sir. LWJR, BBJR. Yeah, we don't do that over here. You keep talking about because he's white. We don't get into that over here. But anyways, yeah, the PBC, like they have trouble getting fight. Oh yeah. Anyways, listen, Eliza, you hit the nail right on the head. You say anybody seen Gary Russell Jr. Exactly. Gary Russell is a PBC fighter. He fights once every 2 years. Of course, I'm being facetious, but he fights like once a year or once a year and a half. He's a PBC fighter. He has champions in his division that are PBC fighters, and he can't get a fight with none of them. He can't get a fight with none of them. So when I hear these Alphabet Boys channels say, hey, Terrence Crawford, when your contract is up, you need to go to PBC. That's where it's at. For what? Canelo, well, you seen the video. Canelo contract is up with the Zone and Eddie Hearn. The rumor has it that Canelo is going to PBC and Al Heyman. For what? What does PBC got to offer Canelo Alvarez? Nothing. They can't even get their own fighters to fight each other. Why would Canelo go to the PBC? What do they have to offer him? Anybody tell me that? For all you pro PBC, fans out there, Tell me what this the PBC have to offer Canelo Alvarez. Feliciano, what do you say, fam? Gary Russell should have signed with Eddie Hearn. I think Gary Russell is comfortable where he's at. Dragon Leg said Plant is going to knock Canelo out. You don't believe that. Dragon Leg, you won't bet a dime on that. I think you joking though. I think you joking. I believe you trolling. Dragon Leg, I believe you trolling, man. Dragon Leg, I believe you trolling. What do you say, Halim? After his show, Plant sells more tickets. Yeah. Plant the GOAT, real talk. Dragon Leg said Plant the GOAT, real talk. Serge, what do you say, fam? Serge Libre, what do you say? Coach, have you seen IQ Boxing Ring channel? I highly recommend you check it out. Yeah, I check his channel out. I haven't seen it, but I check it out. What do you say, Cool 123? You say the greatest fighters in history were black PBC fanboys. Were black PBC fanboys. I mentioned that. Yeah. Dragon Leg said that Plant is the GOAT. He is the GOAT of what? Plants? What is he the GOAT of? Dragon Leg, tell me what kind of plant is Caleb Plant. Let me know what kind of plant is. Southside Boxer, what's up, fam? Hey, coach. How much weed you been smoking today? What is that title, man? Man, I've been smoking that Caleb. I've been smoking that Caleb Plant weed. Caleb Plant said that he is the one on I have the link in the description, guys, so you can go to it and read it for yourself. BoxingNews24.com. Go to BoxingNews24.com to confirm what I'm saying about what Caleb Plant said. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know nobody betting on Caleb Plant. I think my brother Brennan is, though. Well, he say he don't bet, but he's rooting for him. But Boxing King, what you say, fam? You say, watch out, coach. The LDBC may come for you. They ain't coming nowhere. They ain't coming. LDBC don't want no smoke. They don't want no smoke. They can't race hustle me. I don't buy the narrative. They haven't read the books I've read. You know what I mean? So they can't push that over on me at all. If Plant the GOAT, Wilder is the greatest heavyweight champion of all time. Mitchell, what you say, Mitchell? Canelo lucked up and caught all easy fights for greatness. Typical. Well, I guess he got some good luck then. Eddie, what do you say, Eddie? Spence would be the only one that give Canelo a challenge if he can get to 168. I seriously doubt it. If Spence moves up to 168, he gets stopped in about 5 or 6 rounds. Do you want to know why? 1, he's too small. 2, his fighting style. He fights front foot dominant. This is how Errol Spence fights. He fights front foot dominant. He likes to come forward and go to the body. That style is not going to work with Canelo Alvarez because he's going to open himself up for all kind of counter punches, body shots, hooks, and uppercuts. Errol Spence struggled with Sean Porter. If he struggled with Sean Porter, there's no way he stand a chance against Canelo Alvarez. And he beat Sean Porter in a split decision. Errol Spence need to focus on Terrence Crawford. The Canelo Alvarez, if Canelo Alvarez is too much for that boy. Mr. Big Pig, Cap, Big Pig, call Al. I'm Big Pig. You ain't fought nobody. I'm from Texas. I'm from Texas. I'm Big Fish. Mr. Big Fish, stay the hell away from Canelo Alvarez. Errol Spence don't stand a chance. Jamal Charlo, he might have a shot. I give him that. Jamel Charlo, he may have a shot. I give him that. I doubt it, but I give him that. Caleb Plant, woo, he got to become a tree first. He's still in the plant stage. You see what I'm saying? So when Caleb Plant, sir, when you say that Caleb Plant is the one that will beat Canelo Alvarez, according to Caleb Plant in the Alphabet Boys. So when you guys from the Alphabet Boy channels, when you come to this channel and you say that Caleb Plant is going to be the one that shocked the world and stop Canelo, and you Alphabet Boy channels say that Caleb Plant, sweet hands, white chocolate, who grew up in the hood and had the hood backing him up, is going to beat Canelo Alvarez. We don't believe you. As Deontay Wilder would say, we don't believe you. Bleeds King, what do you say, fam? And that style might work against Canelo. Triple G showed us that. And Spence already showed that he can box like crazy. Porter is a brawler. Canelo is a boxer. So different game, though. Listen, one thing I will say, Bleeds King, it is of my opinion that Errol Spence will get put to sleep within 6-7 rounds. I hope he move up to fight Canelo at 168. I pray that he move up to fight Canelo at 168. I will bet $1,000. Literally. I will bet $1,000 on Canelo Alvarez if Errol Spence move up to fight Canelo. Not only would I bet on that fight, I will bet that Canelo knocks Errol Spence out. I will bet that he will stop Errol Spence. Now, some of you may say, well, Errol Spence is a black fighter, and you should be rooting for the black fighter. Man, I don't do skin color politics. I've never seen a fighter win a fight because of his skin color. Fighters win fights because of skills. The race talk don't work with me. The race talk don't work with me. I care nothing about it. I care nothing about your narratives. Believe what he say, playing is skillful, but he don't got Saunders footwork. Bleeds King. No, I mean Nearly Fuller. What's going on, fam? Nearly Fuller. Hey, let's bring the Ali Bell for Nearly Fuller. Hey man, where you been at, bro? Nearly, where you been at, man? You must be real busy. Bleeds King. No, Plant got good footwork, man. He got good footwork. He got good footwork. Bleeds King. He got good footwork. Every YouTube channel has Canelo name on their title, including the Alphabet Boys. You know why they have Canelo's name in their title? Because he's the man of the hour right now. Your favorite fighter, Amen 367, your favorite fighter name is not in everybody's YouTube title because your favorite fighter ain't doing nothing. How about that? As Kurt would say, counterpunch. Shout out to Kurt. I had to steal that from Kurt right quick. Dragon Leg say, Plant is a venomous plant. Them hands gonna make Canelo say no more. Hey man, Dragon Leg, you need to cut it out, man. Hey, you say them hands. Them hands, huh? What you say? Spence is 147 and Canelo's 168. I don't see that fight ever happening in the 21st century. Exactly. But guess what, though, Peter Von Ox, the Alphabet Boys keep talking about it because Errol Spence talked about it. Errol Spence is saying that the biggest fight in the sport of boxing that can be made is the fight between him and Canelo Alvarez. There's only one problem with that, Errol Spence. You are a 147 pounder. Well, really, some people say you're a weight bully, but I'm not going to get into that. You fight at welterweight. You're going to have to move all the way up to fight Canelo. Good luck, sir. You're going to need it. Southside, yes, coach, too strong, too fast, too good for any of them. No welterweight is going to beat Canelo Alvarez. I am a Terence Crawford fan. That's my favorite fighter. If Terence Crawford ain't talking about fighting Canelo, so we ain't got to worry about that. Terence Crawford never said anything out of his mouth that he'll move up to fight Canelo. Only Errol Spence has at the welterweight division. If Terence Crawford, my favorite fighter, was to say something foolish enough to say he'll move up to fight Canelo Alvarez, Crawford would get stopped. Period. Crawford would get stopped. He'll get put to sleep. But Crawford is not talking about fighting Canelo. Errol Spence says he is. So you got to move up to 168, Errol Spence. What is it that you're going to bring to the table that the bigger fighters who Canelo fought hasn't brought to the table? Nothing. Canelo Alvarez would go fishing that day and catch him a big fish. You know what I mean? So, that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I would love to see that fight. I would love to see Big Fish Errol Spence move up and fight Canelo. I wonder how many people are going to bet on Errol Spence. I'm pretty sure a lot of people bet on Errol Spence. I'm pretty sure they'll bet on him. A lot of the pro-black, the PBC fight fans, the one that's hoping and wishing, the Alphabet Boy channels, oh, they're going to hype that up. They're going to hype that up. They're going to be like, oh, man, this is Errol Spence. Oh, man, I'm telling you, Errol is the truth. And he's this, he's that. Canelo ain't never faced nobody like Errol Spence. You know how the Alphabet Boys do it. Anybody who Canelo fights, Canelo ain't never seen a fighter like them before until he beat him. And then when he beat him, they move on to the next guy. Oh, man. Listen, Sly Tennessee, shout out for the super chat. Race came into play was Tyson versus McNeely. Yeah, that was Don King. Don King was famous for that. He did that to sell a fight. He did that to sell a fight. ABN367 says Spence versus Canelo, 100,000 fans. Yeah, but Canelo did 73,000 in Dallas, Texas without Spence. He don't need Spence. Spence need Canelo. So if Canelo did 73,000 by himself fighting Billy Joe Saunders, a guy from the UK who a lot of people in the United States never heard of, then that means that Spence is going to bring another 27,000 fans to the table. Big fish. Eat little fish. Or what they say, big bank, take little bank. But that's a fantasy fight that'll never happen. Because I don't see Errol Spence getting moving up to 168 to fight Canelo. That'll be a suicide mission. Spence is taller than Canelo. Yes, he is. And his height won't help him. Billy Joe Saunders was taller than Canelo. There's a lot of fighters. Triple G was taller than Canelo. There's a lot of fighters that's taller than Canelo. The only problem is height don't win fights. Skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills. Hooligan Music say Spence might give Canelo some sugar and KO him, coach. I think don't get me wrong. Listen, Errol Spence is a phenomenal fighter. He's a phenomenal fighter, but I'm being realistic. When have you ever seen a welterweight move up and beat a super middleweight? Just give me a fight. Just give me a fight. Joe Valdez said ESPN has Crawford pound for pound number one. I disagree with that. I think Canelo was pound for pound number one. And Terence Crawford is my favorite fighter. But I think Canelo was pound for pound number one. That is as unbiased as I possibly can be. Canelo has a better resume than Crawford. Canelo has done more than Crawford in the sport. But I will say this: Crawford is a three-weight division champion. He stopped every opponent that he's fought at welterweight, and he's been undisputed before. But in spite of all of that, I still have Canelo pound for pound number one. The boy Canelo hit too hard, man. I'm not even Mexican, and I just got to give the man his props. Because I'm going to give you your props. I'm going to give you your props. Christopher, shout out to my brother Christopher. Christopher, what's going on? Hey, coach, dig your channel. Try to block LDBC channels. Don't like false narratives, straight out lies, but they keep on popping up. Yeah, you know, I mean, YouTube will recommend a lot of channels. That's what happened. They'll recommend, like, you know, that's what they do. They're on YouTube's algorithms. That's what they do, Christopher. That's what they do, fam. You know what I mean? You know, Sly Tennessee's on, and Duran is once of a lifetime fighter. Yeah, Roberto Duran, a bad boy, man. Roberto Duran. Listen, one of my favorite fights from Duran is when he fought. Iran Barkley. Iran Barkley. Oh, bro, listen. If you guys want to see a fight, go look at Iran Barkley was a monster. Iran Barkley was a monster. Roberto Duran moved up in weight and beat him. And Roberto Duran was old when he did it. And Roberto Duran was old when he did it. That's the fight, bro. Y'all need to see that. But I'm just being honest with you. I just don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening, man. I don't see that happening. I don't see no welterweight moving up to beat forget Canelo. I don't see Errol Spence moving up to beat Caleb Plant. Nah, we ain't got to worry about that. Crawford ain't fighting no Canelo. That's a suicide mission. I just try to think in the realms of reality. Crawford ain't fighting no Errol Spence. That's, you know. Coach, Sugar Ray Robinson versus Canelo in that era, who will win? Oh, listen, Sugar Ray Robinson, my favorite fighter. I would never say Canelo would beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Never. You will never hear those words come out of my mouth. That's blasphemy to me. That's my favorite fighter of all time. Sugar Ray Robinson weighed 120 and won. And you're talking about in the era where they fought like crazy. The era where the mafia was controlling boxing and they was threatening your life, saying you better take a dive and this and that. Sugar Ray Robinson is that guy. Sugar Ray Robinson was Muhammad Ali's favorite fighter. I would never say that any fighter of this era will beat any of the old school fighters. That I'm saying the top elite guys. You will never hear me say that out of my mouth. Never. I don't care who your favorite fighter is today. I don't care if it's Tank Davis. Terrence Crawford is my guy. I love Terrence Crawford. I don't care if it's Terrence Crawford. I don't care if it's Errol Spence. I don't care if it's the Charlos. I don't care if it's Deontay Wilder. I don't care if it's Tyson Fury. I don't care if it's Anthony Joshua. I don't care if it's Canelo Alvarez. I would never on this channel say that any of these guys will beat Ali, beat Marvin Hagler, which is my favorite middleweight champion of all time, beat Roy Jones, beat Bernard Hopkins, beat Lennox Lewis, beat Mike Tyson, beat Evander Holyfield, beat Sugar Ray Robinson, beat Joe Louis, beat George Foreman, beat Simon Brown. I would never say that. I would never say that. Never. You will never hear me say that on this channel. You'll hear them other guys say that, but you won't hear that come from me. I'm 47 years old, guys. So I know better. I know better. Roberto Duran, Ray Leonard, nah. And you ain't gonna never hear me say that. Never. Not me. You ain't gonna never hear me say that. Not on this channel. It ain't happening, bro. Not on this channel. It ain't happening. I'm telling you off the rip, off the rizip, off the ripper. You ain't gonna never hear me say that. And off the rizip mean off top. Off the ripper mean off top. That's what we say down here in Florida. We say that all throughout the state of Florida, whether you're in Miami, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, anywhere throughout the state of Florida, that's what we say. Off the ripper, man, off the rizip. On the strength. Off top. And you'll never hear me say that. Never. Never. What does Canelo do once he's undisputed? I have no idea. Whatever Canelo wants to do. He's the top dog. He's the top dog. When you're a real boss and you ain't got to call Al. See, when you're a real boss, you ain't got to call nobody. You do whatever you want to do. These other fighters got to call somebody. Canelo, the promoters call him. Canelo, what is it that I can do for you, sir? Look here, my friend. You know, I want to fight that puto over there, that puto. Dímelo. Dámelo. Mira, siempre que tú lo tienes tiempo, dime, llame. Yo estaré esperando para ti, para allá, por allá. ¿Ok? Él está enojado conmigo, él no se para tanto conmigo. No me importa de eso. Siempre que él lo quiere a pelear, yo lo pague él $8,000. Entonces, tenemos a tener una pelea de esta fecha. Es no problem, my friend. Es no se para tanto conmigo. Ya tú sabes eso. Canelo do whatever the hell he want to do. Yeah, that's my favorite. My favorite welterweight was Sweet Pea. Pernell Whitaker would have beaten Crawford. Pernell Whitaker would have beaten Pernell Whitaker in his prime would beat any of these welterweights right now. Not just Crawford. He'll beat Errol Spence too. He'll beat Danny Garcia too. He'll beat Danny Garcia at the bottom of the totem pole from the top welterweight, so he ain't beat nobody in the welterweight division. He'll beat Sean Porter and Keith Thurman too. I was a Sweet Pea fanboy. And Sweet Pea was on court. What Floyd is from the outside, I'm fighting. Duran was the same on the inside. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna never say that, bro. I ain't gonna never say that. Never. Every sport moves on, coach. Yeah, they do. Every sport moves on. That's good. But I'm just saying, I'm just letting you know. For me, I ain't gonna never say that. Never. Coach went full black, Eddie Hearn for a minute. Yeah, the Dominicano también. Español es mi sangre. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that I'm part Dominican. So when they talk to me, you know, because I have a Southern accent, they think that I'm you know, I did grow up in, you know, I grew up around a lot of Cubans, Dominicans, and blacks. Where I'm from. Cubans, Dominicans, and blacks. Mi mamá es de Santo Domingo. Coach, who's the boogeyman of this generation besides Canelo and Wilder? Well, that's subjective, to be honest with you. Because that's subjective, to be honest with you, because according to the Alphabet Boy channels, Luis Ortiz is the boogeyman of the division. He's a boogeyman. I've never really heard anybody say Canelo is a boogeyman. Yeah, Ness is down here. Joe, Ness is down here in Miami with me as well. He's down here in Miami. I think Ness is from New Jersey. He lives down here in Miami now. Sweet Pea and Camacho would have been a great fight. Absolutely. Sweet Pea all day over Camacho. Peter Barnard's coach, do you think Crawford is going to fight Mikey Garcia? Nah, Mikey Garcia didn't want to fight Crawford when they was on the same, when they was with Top Rank. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. Terrence Crawford contract is up with Top Rank in October. I do not see him re-signing. I hope that Terrence Crawford will go get with an MTK Global. Get with MTK Global. That's what I would say. If I can talk to his manager, which is what's the big fat dude name? His trainer. Bo Mack. Wilder is the Sugar Ray Robinson to the fanboys. And if they think Wilder's the Sugar Ray Robinson to the fanboys, cool 1, 2, 3, then that means that the fanboys don't know nothing about the sport of boxing. They don't even know who Sugar Ray Robinson is. What you say? Ortiz got up versus Wilder, but won't get up if he fights AJ. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Bo Mack. If Terrence Crawford contract is up with Top Rank in October of this year, he's probably going to get one more fight in that contract. Then he can move on. Terrence Crawford needs to move on. He needs to go to MTK Global. That's what I would do. If the business is right, he needs to go to MTK. Now he does have a sweet deal with Top Rank. He's getting paid a guaranteed $4.2 million or something like that. It's kind of hard to pass up guaranteed money. You're gonna pay me $4.2 million or $4.5 million a fight, irregardless of who I fight. Who gonna turn that down? Chris would say, "Hey, coach, the first fight I ever watched was Muhammad Ali and Ernie Shavers in 1977 on September 29th. Yeah, I was 3 years old. I was 1 month away from my 10th birthday. I was hooked. So when the LDBC talk nonsense, it annoys me. Yeah, because they more into fanboyism and narrative-based content creators and race hustlers. Boxing MMA 365, MTK would do everything to get Bud the possible fights. Yeah, MTK is the real deal, man. MTK Global is the real deal. The MTK Global is everything that the Alphabet Boy channels say that PBC is. What do you say? I think Ortiz versus Ostervern is the best. Wilder wins. Yeah, I would say that. Philly Fly, what you say, fam? If Crawford don't move to the PBC, the LDBC boys will hate him even more. Yeah, there's no need to go to the PBC. For what? Why? Keith Thurman is with the PBC. He can't even get a fight right now. Sean Porter don't fought anybody he could possibly fight. Sean Porter said that, the business people who he has to listen to told him he need to move a little bit differently. And he has to wait till they tell him what to do. So I wouldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? So I wouldn't do that. But it's not my business. I'm not in the business of telling fighters who they should or shouldn't sign with sitting behind the computer. That's really not my job to do that. I just want to see big fights. That's all I want to see. I'm not one of these channels that this fighter, he should do this and he should do that. But honestly, just looking at the eye test, right? MTK Global, like who's putting on the bigger, like who? Listen, let's be realistic, guys. Eddie Hearn, regardless of how you feel about Eddie Hearn or not. I don't have a problem with Eddie Hearn. I just was upset with Eddie Hearn because I felt like he lied, saying that everybody agreed to this contract and everybody signed with the other guy. I don't even want to mention the guy's name until I see something. But with the other guy, you know who I'm talking about, and he didn't sign and he's not happy with the contract. So, but Eddie Hearn been putting on fights. MTK Global been putting on fights. They the big dogs in boxing right now, in the zone. The zone, Eddie Hearn, MTK Global are the big dogs right now. I don't care nothing about, these are European channels. They're not even from America. Who gives a damn? Magic Key say it's cool to be guaranteed $4.2 million a fight, but if they don't guarantee the fights themselves, he got to bounce. Yeah, absolutely, but he can't bounce until his contract is up. You know what I mean? He can't do anything until his contract is up. So for everybody saying that, and I'm not saying Major Key is saying this. So for everybody saying that, hey man, Bud should just leave. You idiot! He's under contract. If he just try to walk away while he's under contract, then he would be in a quagmire like Mikey Garcia was and was put on the shelf for 2 years going through court and litigation. You don't make no emotional decision when it comes to business. That's rule number 1. You don't make an emotional decision when it comes to business. Uyapo, I don't know. Can Canelo better be at 175? I don't think so. I think better be a stop him, or at least beat him. But I could be wrong. Jesse, what you say, fam? They've been putting the hardcore boxing. They've been putting on hardcore boxing fights. Exactly. MTK Global, The Zone, and Eddie Hearn, they've been taking care of their business when it comes to the sport of boxing. PBC, I'm big fish, cap, big fish. I'm Dad Texas. Call Al. That's all I'm hearing from PBC. From PBC, I'm hearing we don't believe you. You cheated me. I believe that you had egg weight. I believe that you had egg weight shape in your glove. That's why I have the form of an egg weight on the side of my head. That's what's going on with the PBC. With the PBC, I'm hearing I ain't gonna fight nobody unless they 25 years old. If they less than 25 years old, I ain't gonna fight nobody unless you take the COVID shot. That's what's going on with the PBC. And the PBC, you know what? I don't like Boo Boo Andrade. I'm going to freeze you out. I'm going to blackball you. That's what's going on with the PBC. So why would Terrence Crawford go to the PBC? For all you pro-PBC fans out there. I don't do skin color politics, so don't tell me about. I don't want to disrespect people's moral standpoint, but people that donate to these deluded channels are invested in this for the box. Yeah. That's what it is. That's all it is. That's what's going on with the PBC. Yeah, foreign object in the egg-shaped form. You're right about that, Diallo Huggy. That's what he said. MTK Global, Eddie Hearn. What I say? MTK Global, Eddie Hearn, and The Zone are putting on the fights. That's facts. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care how you dice it. I don't care who you with, what you like, what you don't like. That's what's going on right now. Eddie Hearn, The Zone, and MTK Global are putting on the fights. And these American promoters are hating. You got fighters that's divas. You got fighters that's worth $1.5 and $1.7 million talking about we freezing fighters out. Talking about we gonna blackball other black fighters. Talking about I don't believe you. Talking about their costumes, wearing legs out and water bottles getting spiked and twerking and having babies. Talking about hugging up on rappers and kissing them on the neck. That's what's going on in the PBC. Period. I just want to see some damn fights. That's all I want to see. I don't care nothing about who you with. I don't give a damn about no Al Heyman. I don't give a damn about Bob Arum, Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, whoever. You know what I give a damn about? The sport of boxing. Can we get these fights? Guess what? Eddie Hearn been delivering. I'm still kind of upset with him about him running his mouth about the other guy fight. I say Anthony Joshua, but the other guy. I don't even want to talk about the other guy no more. That's how irrelevant he is to me. Until I see something, he ain't worth talking about to me. So, Ephraim, what do you say? You say, hey, coach, did you hear the interview Andrade's pops with Ness? The moment Benavidez was mentioned, his energy changed. Benavidez is the boogeyman. No, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that, fam. I didn't hear that. Ronald Finkler, what you say, fam? Yeah. Listen, and for all of those guys, Boo Boo should leave Eddie Hearn for the BS that happened. Yes, for some reason, Eddie Hearn can't work his magic with Andrade. But this is what I don't understand, guys. If you don't like a fighter, that should give you more incentive to fight him. AKA Charlos. We don't like Andrade. F him. You know what I mean? We gonna blackball him and freeze him out. You're a fighter. If you don't like the fighter, that will make it even more interesting. That's the reason why you should fight him. You got PBC fighters that won't even fight each other. Y'all talk about, that's what you just said, Ozzy. What you say, fam? PBC fighters are ducking each other because they all want to say on the V card, say the V card, 0 loss, ride on Canelo's D. This what get me. And listen, and I get what you're saying, Philly Fly, that Andrade did it to himself. I get that. But at least, see, I come from an era where fighters pulled up. Fighters pulled up at press conferences. Muhammad Ali did it all the time. I come from the pull-up era. I don't come from the big fish era. I don't come from kissing rappers on the neck era. I don't come from fighters saying they want to have babies from their baby mama era. I don't come from the era where fighters have excuses. I come from the pull-up era. Irregardless of whether you agree with what Boo Boo Andrade did or not at Canelo Alvarez press conference, I'm not here to argue that. That can be left to interpretation. At least he pulled up. That's all I'm saying. At least he pulled up. Charlo didn't pull up. Charlo telling dudes, when we talk about Jamal Charlo telling dudes, man, yeah, we with the PBC. You've been the videos, you with the PBC. But what you got to do, you got to get the COVID shot first. You got to get the COVID shot to fight me. You got to be at least 25 years old to fight me. And they on the same side of the street. So who do I respect more? Who do I respect more? Do I respect a guy who pulling up trying to make fights happen? Or do I respect the guy who's saying you got to have a COVID shot and you got to be 25 years old to fight me? Jamal Charlo is the real deal. He's the real lion of the two. Jamal Charlo is Tony the Tiger. You have 3 champions. You have 4 champions in the middleweight division. You have Murata, who is from Japan. You have Boo Boo Andrade, WBO champion. You have Triple G, the IBF champion. You have Jamal Charlo, who inherited the belt vacant because Canelo gave it up and moved up, who is the WBC champ, and they won't even fight each other. You want to get mad at Boo Boo Andrade for chasing Canelo when you're doing the same damn thing. Now Jamal is saying, yeah, man, I want to move up and fight Canelo. So again, why is Jamal Charlo not saying, you know what, man? Forget Jamal Charlo. Everybody in that division. Why they won't fight each other? Why Jamal Charlo, since he told to be a lion, right? If Jamal Charlo is this big lion, for all you pro Jamal Charlo fans, I am a fan of Jamel Charlo, not Jamal Charlo. I like Jamel Charlo. Jamel is the real deal. I like his attitude. He reminds me a lot of Clubber Lang. He has an attitude. He's mad every day. Jamel Charlo is mad every day. He probably mad right now. Jamel Charlo probably wake up every morning, look himself in the mirror, and tell himself, you make me sick. And he's upset with himself every time he sees his face. That's how mad Jamel Charlo is. I like Jamel Charlo. I like him a lot because he has that spark, that fire. Jamal Charlo, not so. Sir, explain this to me, Jamal Charlo. You have 4 champions in the middleweight division. Why are you chasing Canelo Alvarez when you have 3 other guys that you can go get their belt? If you want to fight Canelo Alvarez, this is my advice. If I was Al Heyman, since y'all say Al Heyman, your manager, and he's your advisor, why he's not advising you to become undisputed middleweight champion of the world in your division, Jamal Charlo? If Al Heyman is your advisor, why is he not advising you to pull up? If Al Heyman is your advisor, why is he not advising you to put yourself in a strategic position so that when you do call out Canelo can look at you and say, hey, man, you know what, man, that boy Jamal Charlo, it say he doing this thing. It say he doing this thing. That boy Jamal Charlo, he's fighting. It say he's undisputed at 160. Jamal Charlo is the big dog. It say. You see what I'm saying? You should be fighting dudes in your division. You should show Canelo, hey man, you know what, Canelo, man, check this out, baby boy. I've been calling you out since you was at 160. You've been ducking me. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move up in the middleweight division, super middleweight division. And since you don't want to fight Benavidez, who is on the same side of the street as I am, I'm going to fight him, prove my worth. And if I stop him, give me that fight next. What's up? But Jamal Charlo ain't talking about pulling up. Not Tony the Tiger. Southside Boss say, Coach, I think there's something going on behind closed doors. Look at Frank Maloney, now called Kelly. And what about Oscar De La Hoya dressing up like a girl? What's going on? Well, Oscar De La Hoya did that a long time ago. Southside Boss. He on coke, cross-dressing. You know what I mean? So, you know, that is what it is with that. Ronald Finkler, what he say? Jamal Charlo need to act like he's legendary boxer. He a puppy at best. And this one get me. What my brother Charlo say? No one want to put their belt on the line. So sad in boxing. PBC fighters all try to act like Manny Mayweathers. This is the crazy part about it, though. My thing is this here. Errol Spence says he wants to become undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Terence Crawford says he wants to become undisputed welterweight champion of the world. So in order for that to happen, those two men are going to have to fight each other. But at least they said they want to become undisputed. When have you ever heard Jamal Charlo say he want to become undisputed? Jamel Charlo is fighting to become undisputed. Jamel Charlo about that action. He's about that action. Jamel Charlo is about that action. Jamal Charlo got 3 guys. Murata, this dude is in Japan. He had like 20-some fights. He's in Japan, just sitting there marinating with the WBA championship belt. Ain't nobody even talking about, let's go to Japan and fight this dude. Let's go get that strap. If you are a lion, lions are predators. They are apex predators. Lions hunt. Why are you not hunting Jamal Charlo? Why are you saying, I ain't going to fight you because I don't like you? Why are you saying, man, you got to get the COVID shot if you want to get a shot at me? Why are you saying, man, I don't fight nobody under 25? And y'all on the same side of the street. If Al Heyman is your advisor, Jamal Charlo, why is he advising you to duck the other fighters in your weight division? What kind of advisor is Al? Now I'm talking about Al Heyman. Now I'm talking about Al Heyman. Peter Von Os, what you said, you're talking about Oscar equals if he did it once, he'll do it again. That's with any fighter. That's like if the same can go for Tyson Fury or anybody. You know what I mean? Fighters are becoming more feminist. It's an agenda. Dragon Leg, what you say, fam? Jamel pour a bowl of Fruity Pebbles. Not Jamel, I guess you mean Jamal. Canelo be at least minus 2,000 versus Plant. Plant has very little chance versus Soul. I feel the same way. And I like your thumbnail, Marvin Hagler. RIP to the legendary Marvin Hagler, my favorite middleweight of all time, Marvin Hagler. By far. Bar none. Shout out to my brother, Ronald Finkley, for the super chat. Eddie Val, what do you say, fam? Thank you, coach. F the old fighters. Even back in the 2000s, the middleweights would take whoever's in front of them. Yeah, exactly, fam. Exactly, fam. You know, but unlike Mayweather, they're not willing to take a pay cut to become a star, in my opinion. This is the thing, though. Those guys ain't making a whole lot of money anyway, so they don't have to take a pay cut. The Charlos got a net worth less than $2 million. But you'll never know it because you see them on social media with big chains, bragging, cars, this, that, you know, just trinkets. Canelo Alvarez is worth $150 million. Not pocket watching, but the people who get paid to pocket watch like Forbes and all these other people who track celebrities' net worth, this is what they do. They get paid to pocket watch. Worth $150 million. Anthony Joshua is worth like 70, 80 million, something like that. Well, it was rumored that he was worth 100 million pounds. You don't see them doing none of that stuff. You don't see them doing what PBC fighters doing. PBC fighters have less money than Canelo and Anthony Joshua, but they be doing the most. In the club, drinking, wrecking their cars by themselves, hanging out with 20 niggas, dancing with them, kissing them on the neck, giving them sugar, booed up with Yellow Beezy, booed up. I ain't never seen Canelo booed up with nobody, giving them sugar. Canelo got more money than the whole PBC roster put together. And he don't do half of the stuff that these PBC fighters do. Retro, what you say, blood? Time for them Charlos to cut off them mop tops. They receded. What do you think about Teofimo Lopez? I love Teofimo Lopez. How could you not like Teofimo Lopez? Teofimo Lopez got it the hard way. Teofimo Lopez Teofimo Lopez fought some hell of a dudes to get to where he's at, and he's only had a few fights. Teofimo Lopez is arguably undisputed lightweight champion right now. He'll have to fight Devin Haney, but who knows? Because I heard that me talking to Punch Drunk, what's my main man name? Mauricio Suleiman, he kind of downgraded Devin Haney's belt and elevated. It's basically saying that the franchise belt that Teofimo has makes him the undisputed. I don't agree with that, but who am I to argue with Mauricio Suleiman? But I love Teofimo Lopez. And I'm going to his fight right here in Miami that he's having against Kambosos. Hagler rings for years and still goes looking for bullies. It's just a different era, man. It's just a different era. These dudes are social media boxers. Hey, Coach, Willie Pep or Gary Russell Jr., who do you think will win? Willie Pep. Willie Pep on Chris. I think Willie Pep will win. Damn, bro. You're hell of a funny. Yeah, man, I ain't even trying to be funny, bro. I'm just being honest with you, though. Joshua's known worldwide without the chains in the cars. Listen, these PBC fighters, you'll swear, listen, you will swear these dudes are billionaires the way they move. Canelo trying to be undisputed. Anthony Joshua trying to be undisputed. And these dudes kissing rappers. Want to get pregnant from their baby mamas. Twerking. Alcoholics. Almost getting killed in car accidents when no other cars is on the road. Don't even want to be undisputed in their division. What kind of advisor do you have, Jamal Charlo? Instead of chasing Canelo, and I even say this for Andrade as well. Andrade, I respect the fact that you pulled up. At least you pulled up. I give you credit for that, sir. At least you pulled up. I give you that. Whether I agree with how you did it or not is irrelevant, because the era that I come from, I seen Muhammad Ali pull up at press conferences. I've seen Lennox Lewis pull up. I've seen Mitch Green pull up on Mike Tyson. I've seen Hagler. Hagler was a champion and he was pulling up on people. Yeah, I got the belt, but I want to fight you. I've seen Roberto Duran pull up. Tommy Hearns pull up. So I come from the pull-up era. A lot of you new boxing fans, you don't know nothing about pulling up. So when you seen Boo Boo Andrade pull up on Canelo at the press conference, y'all gave him a whole bunch of flack. You want to know why? Because y'all ain't used to nobody pulling up. But the era I come from, they pull up. They about that action. I'm not a fanboy of Canelo like that, because so I'm going to protect him. And then the crazy part about it, you got PBC fighters, the Charlos, taking up for Canelo. Let me get this straight. You a black fighter with the PBC. You see another black fighter in Boo Boo Andrade pulling up on a non-black fighter in Canelo Alvarez, and y'all protecting Canelo Alvarez. And get mad and say, oh, Boo Boo making a fool of himself. What he doing calling out the great Canelo? I dare you call Canelo. He over there begging for fights. What he over there doing? Fool, why you ain't over there begging for fights? Make that make sense to me. You mad at Boo Boo for pulling up, but you won't pull up. You got Boo Boo Andrade is the WBO middleweight champion of the world, Jamal Charlo. You the WBC middleweight champion of the world. Why you ain't pulling up on Andrade? Why you ain't pulling up on Triple G? Why you ain't pulling up on Murata? That's over there in Japan. But you gonna get mad at Andrade for pulling up on Canelo when you won't even pull up on nobody in your division. Make that make sense to me. So don't tell me nothing about the PBC. Don't tell me nothing about Big Big. I'm Dad Tansy. Big, call Al. Don't tell me nothing about that. If you focus on becoming undisputed in your division, instead of being focusing on kissing rappers, instead of being focusing on twerking, instead of being focusing on getting pregnant from your baby mama, instead of being focused on making excuses, instead of being focused on what Boo Boo Andrade doing, you can be undisputed at middleweight division yourself. Period. Boo Boo should have did it earlier, but you're right, Coach. It's good he did it. Again, I'm not saying that Boo Boo Andrade did right or wrong. I'm just saying at least he pulled up. And how you are a fighter taking up for Canelo Alvarez when this is the guy that you want to fight. You have 3 champions in your division, Jamal Charlo. And y'all looking up at 168, and you're not even at 168. So that's the only thing I fought blood. That's the only thing I fought Andrade for. Stop. Don't worry about chasing Canelo. You at 160. Canelo's at 168. So blood is right. He should have did that earlier. But listen, you at 168. Canelo at 168. Andrade, you at 160. Andrade, you need to be pulling up on Charlo. You should be in front of his house right now in Texas. Man, what's up? When I'm going to get that fight, though? You say you're a lion, right? You say it's lions only, right? What's up? When can I get that fight? This is what Andrade should be doing. Pull up on Jamal Charlo. Pull up on Triple G. Pull up on Murata. Now, Andrade has been calling out all of these guys. I give him that. I give him that. He has been pulling up on all of these guys. He has called out these guys. But I think Andrade needs to pick it up a little bit. The first fool I would want to fight is Jamal Charlo. Andrade, you need to be putting that pressure on Jamal Charlo. Everywhere Jamal Charlo go, that's where you need to be at. If Jamal Charlo is in the mall buying some diamonds or whatever, you need to be right there with him. What's up, SA? What's up with that belt, though? What's up with us becoming unified middleweight champion, though? That's what Andrade should be doing. Alan Skill, what you say, fam? Evening, coach. I hate missing the legendary coach rant. What did I miss? Blessings on you, mate. Yeah, you gonna have to do a recap, man. Boo Boo better than some of them English bombs Canelo fought. But you see what I'm saying, though. You see what I'm saying? We don't do play boxing over here, man. We not playing boxing. Yeah, Ronald Finger, we not playing boxing. Nah, man, nah. Listen. All I'm saying is this here. Listen, you need to be fighting Andrade Charlo, Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo is fighting to become undisputed. Why are you sitting there telling people you got to take the COVID shot if they want to fight me? I ain't fighting nobody less than 20, that ain't 25 years old. But you fighting Montiel? Who is Montiel? If you this lion that you say you is, you're supposed to be hunting, fighting other lions. Why are you fighting Montiel who don't have a belt when Murata has a belt, when Triple G has a belt, when Boo Boo Andrade has a belt in your division? So this for all you Jamal Charlo fans out there. Jamal Charlo is Tony the Tiger. He is not the real deal. He is not who you think he is. He is not who you think you is. Again, at least Andrade pulled up. That's all I'm saying. Your favorite fighter ain't doing that. Who Jamal Charlo pulling up on? Nobody. Andrade pulled up on Charlo press conference twice. You're right about that. So my thing is this here. What kind of advisor do you have? This is to you, Mr. Al Heyman, sir. I know you don't do interviews. I know that you don't talk to anybody. Why are you not advising Charlo, Jamal Charlo, Mr. Lions only? Why are you not advising him to fight for undisputed middleweight champion of the world? If he have 4 belts, he can make more money, right? He can create a demand and a buzz for himself. The problem is these guys with the PBC are pre-Madonnas. You want to be Money Mayweather, but you don't want to put the work in that Floyd Mayweather did. You don't want to go through the pretty boy Floyd phase. What you fail to realize is this. See, some of you fanboys, you just started watching boxing 5 years ago. So the problem is, you say, well, money. No, see, you see the way Floyd Mayweather did it. Yeah, but you're skipping the pretty boy Floyd era. So these PBC fighters, they some fake Floyd Mayweather wannabes, but they ain't fighting everybody like Floyd Mayweather did. Floyd Mayweather called out Prince Nassim Ahmed didn't want no smoke. He tried to fight Sugar Shane Mosley years ago. Sugar Shane didn't want to fight him. De La Hoya, he tried to fight several of these guys back in the day. Some people would say that Floyd ducked Paul Williams, but you know that could be that could be to another person's interpretation. But my problem is, but the issue is this: Floyd fought the Zab Zoodles. He fought all these dudes. You guys won't even fight each other. You don't even want to fight each other. Hector Garcia say, what you say, fam? What kind of joke is Charlo trying to pull? Trolling at his finest. Big plans. Let's talk about Frank Warren's shoulder roll. Does he have better technique than Mayweather? Frank Warren's. Wow. Postman, Andrade pulled up. Yeah, pulled up. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like these dudes, you know, these guys are a bunch of models. They don't fight. They don't want to fight. They don't want to fight at all. They don't want to fight at all. Cool, 1, 2, 3. What you say, fam? Al really scamming people. And this is all I'm saying, guys. All I'm saying is this here. If I'm a fighter, my objective is to make my objective, right? If I'm a fighter, if I'm a gladiator, and this is what I do for a living. If people don't know who I am, I got to make some noise, right? And the only way in the sport of boxing, the best way to make some noise, I'm not talking about the social media era, is to fight. I want to fight this dude. I want to fight this dude. I want to fight this. Oh, you got a belt? Let me get that. Oh, you got a belt too? Let me get that. Because I'm thinking about the end game. I'm saying, you know what? If I beat this dude, I'm going to have 2 belts. And if I beat that dude, I'm going to have 3 belts. And if I beat that dude, I got all 4 belts. I'm the Thanos of my division. I got all the rings. I got all the belts. I don't see PBC fighters trying to be Thanos. Errol Spence is, and Jamel Charlo is. So I give them 2 that, even though Errol Spence was booed up with Yellow Beezy, but that's neither here nor there. I give him that. I have to give it to him because at least he's doing it. And I have to give it to Jamel Charlo because he's my favorite. He's one of my favorite fighters. At least he's doing it. So apparently, Al Heyman must be giving Jamel Charlo and Errol Spence different advice than he's giving Jamal Charlo. So I don't know. I don't know. That is the only thing that irritates me about Canelo, hauling the interpreter around with him. Quit BSing. These dudes out here fighting once a year got fanboys sticking up for them. And as a matter of fact, what's so crazy about it, not only do they fight once a year, but you got these other Alphabet Boy channels, they are defending these fighters not fighting each other. Oh, this guy don't deserve a fight with such and such. They don't deserve a fight with such and such. Now they're rolling out Caleb Plant. Playing his dream. He would get smoked. He's talking about money now. Build up, nothing else, just like BJS. Listen, Mr. Caleb Plant, let's get back to Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant has Jose Benavidez in his, David Benavidez, sorry about that. David Benavidez is a PBC fighter. Caleb Plant won't fight David Benavidez. That's fine. Canelo is there now. Benavidez is not wrong. Caleb Plant is not wrong for wanting to make a career payday. $8 million is fair, sir, in my opinion. It's 10 times more than what you ever made. Caleb Plant is a broke fighter. He cannot afford to turn down the Canelo Alvarez's fight. He can't afford to turn that fight down. When your highest purse is $750,000 from your last fight, what fool would turn down $8 million to fight Canelo Alvarez? What fool would turn down $8 million to fight Canelo Alvarez? Billy Joe made $8 million to fight Canelo Alvarez. If it was good for Billy Joe, damn, it should be good for Caleb Plant. Especially when the most money you ever made was $750,000. So Al Heyman ain't paying you over there. So don't give me this, I'll take care of his fighters. I'll pay all his fighters. According to my brother, Rap Star from the UK. Al Heyman take care of all his fighters. Child to the please. Where? How? Who? You got to give me something other than 2-3 fighters. Give me something other than 4-5 fighters. 6-7 fighters. When you have a roster full of fighters, you have over 100 fighters on your roster. Don't show me 5 or 6 fighters who made some money and say that those 5 or 6 fighters represent how the entire PBC feel. Caleb Plant has a net worth of $1 million. Where he eating at? He can't even buy his mother a house right now. So don't tell me about this PBC stuff. Southside Boston, what you said, I was sitting in Frank's office with my son when he was 17 to sign him, but he tried to pull a stroke on us, so we left. Yeah, I didn't know that. Big fan of Big Baby Anderson. Yes. I love Big Baby Anderson. We're talking about Jared Anderson. The guy who I feel is going to be the next American heavyweight champion of the world. Jared Anderson is going to be the next American heavyweight champion of the world. Retro, what you say, fam? Caleb Plant is going to attempt to price himself out. He's going to duck. Listen, I'm going to tell you something, Retro. Check this out. I told Shelton Moore this. I say, Shelton say, oh, Caleb Plant, he going to get off of too much money, coach. He gonna take that fight. I told Shelton Moore, listen, you looking at it wrong. I said, do you think Al Heyman wants to lose another belt from outside of the PBC? Caleb Plant would probably take the fight. But does Al Heyman like, wait a minute, man, I don't know. We gotta look at mitigating circumstances here. This chess not checkers. Yeah, Caleb Plant gonna get paid. I'm gonna get my cut, but then 9 times out of 10, he's going to lose, and we're gonna lose the belt. So now, not only have we lost the heavyweight titles, but we lost the super middleweight titles. PBC ain't gonna have nobody in the super middleweight division that's gonna have a belt. There's nobody in cruiserweight that they have, or light heavy that I know of that has a belt with PBC. That I know of. I could be wrong. So PBC's strongest division, claim to fame, is the junior middleweight division and the welterweight division right now. That's their strongest claim right now. Those two divisions. Why? Because they have Jamel Charlo at 130 at junior middleweight, and then at welterweight they got Errol Spence and Ugas. Shout out to Charlo. Peter Varnos, no one is saying Plant is getting $8 million. No. That's the rumor. That's the rumor, Peter Varnos. That's the rumor that, because Billy Joe Saunders made $8 million, Peter. So basically, seriously, that's been going around. $8 million. Seriously, fam. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up for you. That's like the going rate. They're saying that because Billy Joe made $8 million. Billy Joe got $3 million guaranteed from Canelo. Then he made another $5 million on pay-per-view sales, right? So they're saying that this is this is the market based on what Billy Joe Saunders made. This is the price range for Caleb Plant. That's the word that's out there, Peter Varnos. Now, has it been an official offer? No. It has not been an official offer. But Caleb Plant, from his side, is saying that they want $8 million. Then I'm hearing they want $10 million. Then I'm hearing they want $12 million. Then I heard he want $15 million because he is the last infinity stone in that Canelo needs in order to become undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. So he may try to price himself out. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother, Rich Mendez. Rich Mendez says, you're right about Plant, but how long can he hold on to the belt without defending it? Who would be his mandatory? Does he have to fight a mandatory? No, Caleb Plant just had a fight this year in January. So he good right now. He's not in a hurry right now. He's good right now. Canelo was trying to make that fight with Caleb Plant for the month of September. So Caleb Plant, his hand should be healed because he said he broke his hand fighting Caleb Truax in January. So he should be good to go, ready to fight Canelo by September. He's going to want to get paid a king's ransom. $8 million is a king's ransom. That's 10 times more than what you've ever made. 10. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Rich? So Peter Von Ox, Peter Von Ox, nobody, but he wants more than that because that's what Billy Joe got. He has the last Infinity Stone. Thanos needs you. That's amazing. I said the same thing you said. Hey, that's the same thing you said. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I said the same thing you said. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So Alan Skill, what do you say? So true, Aaron. The PBC fighters are referred to as Aram's fighters, which is why they lack ambition. Eddie Hearn constantly refers to those fighters as his boss. PBC needs to move on with the times or miss out. Yeah, but that's what you have a lot of PBC fighters, man, having trouble getting fights, having trouble getting fight dates. Peter Von Ox, would you say, fam, $8 million for Plant? I don't see it. I can see that. I can see that. I'm gonna tell you why I can see that. Peter Von Ox. I can see that because it depends on how bad Canelo wants that other belt. It depends on how bad he wants that other belt, Peter. You see what I'm saying? Am I saying that Plant is worth that? That's not me to determine. You know what I mean? But I can see that. Because Caleb Plant has no fans. He don't bring anything to the table. So whatever Canelo gives him, he should be cool with that. You know what I mean? But if Billy Joe made $8 million, then la-di-dee, la-di-da. You know what I mean? Southside Boxing said, I think Plant could hold out for more because he has the only belt that Canelo hasn't won, and he wants it. Without it, he won't be able to become undisputed. He needs to get that belt that Plant has. Yeah, I agree with that. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. You know what I mean? But this is the thing, Southside Boxing. What the hell? Like, what would you pay Caleb Plant? Like, what does Caleb Plant want? From the sounds of it, Plant probably don't know their worth, so they'll probably keep checking out figures. And of course, he's going to hide behind Al. Oh, I got to talk to my advisor, Al Heyman, to see what he says. So you know that's going to be that game. They're going to make it very difficult for Eddie Hearn to make that fight. Watch what I tell you guys. They are going to, when I say they, I mean Al Heyman and the PBC. He's going to make it very hard for Eddie Hearn to work with anybody. He go with Al. He go with Bob Arum. Bob Arum can't stand his guts. Frank Warren hate his guts, and Al Heyman hate his guts because they look at Eddie Hearn as competition. They look at Eddie Hearn as competition. What do you say? Peter Von Ox said Caleb Plant wants to unify the belts also. So how hard is it going to be to deal with him? No hard. I never heard Caleb Plant say he want to unify the belts. Never. I've never heard Caleb Plant say, I want to unify the belts. Never. Caleb Plant, what you don't understand about these PBC fighters, Peter, unless you Errol Spence or Jamel Charlo, they not interested in becoming undisputed with the PBC. Those PBC fighters are very content with their condition. What do you say, Peter Von Ox? You say, agreed. I don't think Plant is going to be hard to deal with. No, what you fail to realize, it's not Plant. It's going to be Al Heyman. Plant can't do nothing. He has to do what Al tell him to do. That's what you're missing. You're talking about Caleb Plant. I'm talking about Al Heyman. Hector Garcia, Plant may get $10 million for that whooping. Yeah. And he's not wrong. That's going to be life-changing money for him. He'll be able to move out the trailer park. He'll be able to move out the hood because he's still living in the hood right now. Caleb wants to unify the belts. Okay, you already read that. You know what I mean? So $10 million. Okay, cool. $10 million. Okay, give him $10 million. Get a man 10 mil, beat his ass. Al gonna get an advisor fee cut and a management cut. IRS gonna get their cut off the ripper. IRS gonna get about 40% of that deal. That's gonna leave him $6 million. And then out of the $6 million, Al gonna get his cut for advisory fee and management fee. And then he got to pay his team, his trainers, and stuff like that. So when it's all said and done, Caleb Plant may come away with about $3 million if he can get 10. Aaron Story says, Caleb Plant, I'll beat Canelo Alvarez to unify the division. That's on the Zone website. Caleb Plant, yeah, that's on the Zone website. But what I'm saying is he's never said that prior to Canelo winning those belts. This is what I'm saying, Aaron Story. Prior to Canelo winning those belts, show me an article where Caleb Plant said he's going to be undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. Rich Mendez says maybe Canelo can overlook Plant for now and fight someone else. That will put pressure on Plant to either risk his belt with someone else. I don't think he will. Caleb Plant ain't gonna put pressure on Caleb Plant. They got a whole bunch of C-class fighters they can fight on the PBC. He can just keep fighting C-class fighters. He's content with that. He's content with his condition right now. You see what I'm saying? In my opinion, too many belts, coach. Nobody knows who's the best. Too many politics in boxing. Yes, it is, Richard. Yes, coach. Al's not stupid. Yeah, you see what I'm saying, Southside? That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I'm trying to get Peter Varnock to say. I understand. Peter, the problem probably won't be Caleb Plant. The issue gonna be Al Haymon. Does Al Haymon want to risk losing that belt? You see what I'm saying? That's all it is. Here we go. What you say, Aaron Story? Speaking on ESPN Deportes, Plant said first Canelo has to beat Billy Joe Saunders in May. If he can get past him and get the belt, hopefully we can fight in September and I get the fans what they want. Yeah. But I'm saying prior to that, though, I'm saying like before Canelo, forget that. Before Canelo even moved up to 168, I never heard Caleb Plant talking about he want to be undisputed. But that's neither here nor there. If that's what he's talking about now, so be it. Time is yet to be, the thing is Al Haymon. Let's see what Al Haymon is going to do. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Aaron? Let's see what Al Haymon is going to do. Let's see what Al Haymon is going to do. Yeah, you saying that article was March 8th. That was just a couple months ago. I'm talking about before that. Before March 8th. That's soon. I mean, that was recent. We talking about last year. Caleb Plant had the belt since he had the belt. He had that IBF belt. Since he won that IBF belt, show me an article where Caleb Plant said, yeah, I'm going to be undisputed middleweight champion of the world. Super middleweight champion of the world. Because he could have fought Billy Joe Saunders himself. He could have fought Callum Smith. He could have did what Canelo was doing. You see what I'm saying, Aaron? This is what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying, Aaron? He could have did that. Jesse Camps, what you say, fam? You say Caleb either gonna take 8 to 12 million or price himself out. What do you say? He said it right after he beats Truax. And Truax, that was in January of this year. He said that in January of this year, Peter. How long has Caleb Plant had the belt? How long has Caleb Plant had the IBF championship super middleweight belt? He's had that belt for a little bit now. He never said anything about being undisputed. Soon as Canelo come up and Canelo start winning these belts, now he's talking about making that fight because Canelo is the retirement plan. Is the retirement plan, He didn't have those ambitions because why Caleb Plant didn't fight Billy Joe Saunders, but Canelo moved up and fought him. Why Caleb Plant hasn't fought Callum Smith, but Canelo moved up and fought him. They talking about Canelo is beating up on all these UK fighters. Caleb Plant, why you didn't beat up on the UK fighters? Caleb Plant, you had an opportunity to beat up on those same UK fighters that you're talking about that Canelo Alvarez is doing. This is where I'm coming from. See, your actions tell me who you are. You see what I'm saying? They sit back and say, well, Canelo, Caleb Plant, this is what he said on 24. This is what he said on Boxing News 24.com. Canelo going around Europe beating up on UK fighters. Well, why you didn't go around in Europe beat up on UK fighters, Caleb Plant? And those UK fighters were champions. So I hear what you guys saying. Caleb Plant been talking about wanting to be undisputed. I say no, he didn't. Because guess what? He had the IBF belt before Canelo even moved up in the weight division. He had the IBF belt. He could have fought Caleb Smith. He could have fought Billy Joe Saunders. He didn't make no move towards Caleb Smith and Billy Joe Saunders. When Canelo comes up and gets the belt, now he's talking about, I want to be undisputed. So Canelo did all of the dirty work, collected the belts, and now but he could have collected the belts. That's what I'm saying, guys. Caleb Plant could have collected the belts. Caleb Plant, I want to unify the division. Benavidez is not trying to F with me. He knows better. That's from interview 2019. Okay, well, I stand to be corrected then. I stand to be corrected then if that's the case. But my point is this here. Why Caleb Plant didn't fight Billy Joe Saunders? Why he didn't fight Callum Smith? That's all I'm saying. He's had the IBF belt for a minute now. And Caleb Plant and Benavidez is on the same side of the street. So that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is this here. Caleb Plant has an opportunity to fight Canelo Alvarez now. Plant, what you say, Peter? Plant certified as mandatory, and now Canelo is next. And that is a fact. Okay, cool. Now Canelo is next. So my question is, what is Caleb Plant going to do? Because I haven't seen Canelo Alvarez talking. I see Canelo Alvarez doing. You got dudes talk about becoming undisputed. Canelo is doing it. He has three of those belts. Caleb Plant is next. You see what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is, okay, Caleb Plant, you ain't got but one guy to fight, Canelo Alvarez. How much money you want? How much money you want? Caleb Plant is not going to be the problem, guys. The problem is going to be Al Haymon. Remember, PBC fighters are not their own bosses. They can't do what they want to do when they want to do it. Canelo Alvarez can do that. Manny Pacquiao can do that. Anthony Joshua can do that. That's it. That's it. Out of the whole sport of boxing, what fighter tell their promoters, you do what I tell you to do. You work for me. What fighter promoter come out and do a press conference and do an interview and say, hey, you know what, man? Whatever this guy tells me to do, that's what I do. I work for him. He don't work for me. So what is Al Haymon going to do? We don't know. Peter Reeves, what you say, fam? Coach Plant knows that he's not ready to fight Canelo. Drive. What you say, Drive? Canelo doing all of the heavy lifting. Exactly. This is the same thing that they say that Errol Spence is doing. Errol Spence doing all of the heavy lifting. Terrence Crawford should bow down. Terrence Crawford should bow down to Errol Spence's demands. Okay. So if I was to use that same narrative, then Canelo has done all the heavy lifting and collecting the belts. Collecting the belts that Caleb Plant could have collected. He's doing all the heavy lifting. So Caleb Plant should bow down to his demands. If you are a pro PBC fight fan and you feel like that Errol Spence is doing all of the heavy lifting and that Errol Spence and that Terrence Crawford should bow down to Errol Spence's demands, then you should feel the same way about Caleb Plant bowing down to Canelo Alvarez's demands because Canelo Alvarez is doing all of the heavy lifting. Peter Barnard, I don't think Plant is going to get $8 million, but maybe he will. I don't know. Irish Boxing Bro, Plant and Jamal cut from the same cloth. Both happy fighting C-level fighters and getting okay money for a while, holding up the strap hostage. Yeah, exactly. That's all they do. They cool. They like, look, we fine. You know, I got a nice double wide trailer where Caleb Plant living at. We living in a nice double wide trailer. You know, listen, bro, $1 million ain't a whole lot of money in today's time. We're talking about 2021 with inflation going up every day. $1 million is not like what it was when I was in the 80s. Listen, in 1980, 1981, if you had $1 million, you was rich. And you can live off of $1 million the rest of your life just on the interest on the money alone. $1 million in 2021 ain't worth nothing. $1 million like $300,000 or $400,000 today. Or even $500,000 today. That's how much less value it is today. So Plant ain't got no money like that. He got a net worth of $1 million. So I don't think Caleb Plant will have an issue with taking $1 million, $8 million fighting Canelo. The problem is going to be Al Haymon. The problem is going to be Al Haymon. Peter Barnard say Al Haymon will make the fight. I hope you're right. Because if he don't make the fight, I would throw it right back in your face, sir. And I'm not saying that he won't make the fight. What I'm saying is it ain't going to be an easy fight to make. Because for you to say that, you're assuming that Al Haymon is willing to just let his fighter fight another fighter that's not a PBC fighter and risk losing another belt from the PBC. That's what you're assuming. I'm assuming that he won't do that. So we both will see who's right and who's wrong. You'll be able to come back on here and throw it in my face and say, I told you so. I'm not saying that Caleb Plant and Canelo ain't going to fight each other because I think Canelo's going to pay and I think Canelo's going to give Caleb Plant enough money that'll make him happy. But I can't speak for Al Haymon. So I don't know. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see, Peter. I'm glad you got faith. I'm glad you got faith, brother. I'm glad you got faith. What you say, Philly Fly Plant lucky to get $5 million. I think $8 million. I think $8 million is fair. Billy Joe Saunders got $8 million. Billy Joe Saunders got $8 million. You see what I'm saying? Billy Joe got $8 million. So I hope that I hope he do. I hope he do get that. What you say? Al Haymon would only make the fight if it's a good offer. What's a good offer? What's considered a good offer though? You see what I'm saying? Like we don't know that magic number. Like this is the thing, Peter. Like what's gonna be the magic number on Peter Reeves? You see what I'm saying? Coach, in our day, $1 million like $1 billion a day nowadays. Exactly, Richard. You already know. Back in our day, if you had $1 million, bro, if you had $1 million in the 80s, you guys have no idea. If you had $1 million in the 80s, that was some money back then. That was some money back then. Fat apples. PBC fighters are broken. Will try to squeeze every penny out, but Canelo might just fight Ryder in the UK if Al Haymon takes it piss asking for $5 million, let alone $8 million. I'm not gonna lie, man. Listen. I want to see Caleb Plant make some money, man, because he broke. He ain't got no money like that. You see what I'm saying? So if Billy Joe Saunders can get $8 million, then I think Caleb Plant should get $8 million. The only problem is we don't know what Al Haymon gonna do. Shout out to my main man, Rocky Rodriguez. Shout out to my main man, Rocky Rodriguez. If Canelo Plant is made, we could possibly have 5 undisputed champions by the end of the year. Exactly. That's a good point, Rocky. Rocky Rodriguez, that's a good point. That's a damn good point. We could possibly have that. Caleb Plant deserves to get paid some money, man. Not because he's. I want to make sure I don't say this wrong. Not because he's earned it from a resume standpoint, but because he's broke. He don't have no money. He has a net worth of $1 million. In his last fight, he made $750,000. He needs the money. You see what I'm saying, guys? He needs the money. He needs the money, guys. $10 million and up coach will be right for Al. Yeah. Peter Reeves, I agree with that. Al will probably say 10 mil. That because Al gonna get two slices of that. He's gonna get an advisory fee. He's gonna get a management fee. Al is nothing but a modern day Don King. Exactly. He learned from the best. Him and Don King were real good friends. Southside Boxing, what you say, fam? Coach, he'll get more. Al's the man. They need to get pasted. Oh, I guess you mean they need to get paid, and that won't be easy. I think he'll get more. They have the only belt. Yeah, this is the thing though. Like what's the magic number? You see what I'm saying? Peter Reeves say 10 mil and up. And what price is Canelo willing to pay in order to get that belt? You can best believe if they try to strong arm Canelo in negotiations, Caleb Plant he may not see 5 rounds. He might not see 5 rounds. Marcy D say no one really knew Caleb Plant. Hold on. Where you at, Marcy D? I see you, Marcy D. Cool 123. No one really knew Caleb Plant until now. I mean, we heard of him, but he ain't nobody. Caleb Plant ain't nothing special about him. He John B, Color Me Bad, Robin Thicke, Justin Timberlake. That's all. He ain't nobody. He ain't nobody. What you say, fam? I have missed one. Al Heyman killing boxing. He needs to watch Dana White and Eddie Hearn and start putting the best fights. Yeah, Al Heyman has a different business model than those guys. Al Heyman is doing it the old way. We all need the money, but boxing is a tough business. John Ryder needs the money, but he shouldn't fight. He shouldn't get $8 million. What you say, Rocket Rodriguez? They never actually realized that was well spotted. Yeah. Cool 123. Him and Don King were friends. Didn't know that. Yeah. Now Al Heyman and Don King go way back. We talking about 70s, 80s when Don King was in the music industry and not Don King. Al Heyman was in the music industry. He promoted the Jackson when the Jacksons came back. They did the Destiny tour together when you had all 6 of the Jacksons. Don King and Al Heyman real good friends. They've been knowing each other a long time. Don King had his hand in promotions also, promoting fights, promoting events as well, like outside of boxing. So he learned from the best when it came to the sport of boxing. I never knew that about Plant. How in the hell does Al still get away with this? They found the loophole, Alan Skill. They had a loophole. Al Heyman never offered Bud 60-40 either. That was Spence running his yap. Exactly. But let the alphabet boy tell it, Errol Spence offered Terrence Crawford 60-40. Errol Spence can't offer Terrence Crawford nothing. Al Heyman would have to offer that. A fighter saying that I'll pay you this is nothing serious. Errol Spence is not his own boss. He has a boss. He can't tell a fighter, I'm gonna pay you this. That's not an offer. Al Heyman would have to offer him that. And then how these fight negotiations go. You don't negotiate fights on social media, on Twitter. Anytime you see offers being thrown around on Twitter, just know that these are not real offers. If Al Heyman won't risk his champions, he should lead the sport. Hardline boxing talk. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying. All I'm saying is this here. I'm saying what I'm seeing, right? They took a chance on Deontay Wilder fighting Tyson Fury. You see how that worked out. And because Deontay Wilder dropped Tyson Fury twice in the first fight, They went on ahead and said, yeah, we're going to get him again, and this time you're going to get him out of there. But you see how that worked out. They took a gamble. Normally, Deontay Wilder fight what? He fights PBC fighters. If you look at the Bermain Stavern fight, Bermain Stavern fought. He fights with Don King. After the Bermain Stavern fight, all the types of Deontay Wilder fights with PBC fighters mostly. So they keep all their fights in house. They took a chance, and you saw what happened. They lost. So now, is he willing to take another chance and fight arguably the best fighter in the world right now, Canelo Alvarez? You know he gonna lose. Listen, man. All jokes aside, John B ain't winning no fight against Canelo Alvarez, aka Caleb Plant. Color Me Bad ain't winning no fight against Canelo Alvarez. Kings of the Commonwealth. I feel Caleb Plant has gone through some stuff, lost his 2-year-old daughter and mom, and I think he has the motivation to give a good fight. Yes, I understand he's been through some tragedy. He probably will give a good fight, but that's not going to win him the fight. He'll go about 4-5 rounds, 6 the most, and that's me giving him the benefit of the doubt. That's my opinion. Al will see what Canelo will make him and will lay out the red carpet just like Eddie. I hope so. Taxes after 8 mil, maybe 5 mil. Yeah, IRS gonna take about 40% of that. It's gonna put you in the 38, 39% tax bracket. And then Uncle Al Hammond has to get his advisory fee, and he has to get his management fee. So Al gonna get paid 2 ways from his fighters. And then the network has to get paid. And then the promoter who promoted the event that works with Al Hammond, they got to get paid as well. You see what I'm saying, guys? So it's very important for Caleb Plant to get as much money as he can, because the networks has to get paid. Al has to get paid twice, advisory fee and management fee. IRS is going to get paid off the RZIP, off the top. If he have an accountant or whatever, they're going to say, hey, look, we got to put 40% of this in escrow. So if you make $10 million, $4 million got to go in the escrow or the bank to the IRS. Now, the promoter who we work with on a fight-by-fight basis, they got to get paid. Al Hammond got to get paid for the advisory fee. Al Hammond got to get paid for a management fee. Then you got to take care of your team, your trainers. $10 million payday, he'll probably net, after everybody get their money, he'll probably net about $4 million. So he'll be able to move out of that double wide trailer that he lives in and get him a nice little house. You see what I'm saying? So I want to see Caleb Plant get paid. I really do. I want to see him make as much money as he can. And I feel like he deserved that. Because when I see a fighter that's poor and broke and he's struggling and he put himself in a position to make some money, he should get paid. That don't mean he's going to win, but he should get paid. You see what I'm saying? So, Marcy D, what would you do if someone chucked a brick through a window and miss your 5-year-old girl, even though you don't live in a relationship with the mom? I don't. Are you referring that to me? Yeah, man, I don't even want to talk about what I would do on here. I don't even want to talk about that. YouTube may kick me off. I may get a strike for what I would say. Is it right that that was the last fight that Eddie was under contract with Canelo, and so Al could work with Canelo to put on the fight? Yes, that was right, but Canelo's going to re-back up with Canelo's going to re-back up with Eddie Hearn. I should have dropped that link in the description so y'all can see that. Canelo said that he's going to work back with Eddie Hearn again for so basically what Canelo is because he's a free agent. He say, listen, I'm gonna work with whatever promoter I want to work with on a fight-by-fight basis. There's nothing Al Heyman can bring to the table to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is the real boss. He's a real boss. Al can't tell Canelo what to do. Canelo will tell Al what to do. Canelo tell Al, listen, I want this how much I want to get paid. I want this, this, and this, and I want to fight that guy, and this how much I'm gonna pay him. Al Heyman business model, he controls his fighters. He won't be able to control Canelo. So I want to see Caleb Plant get paid, to be honest with you. But should he get 15 million? Nah. 8 million is good. Even 10 million is even better. I don't see Plant getting greedy. I think it's reasonable to negotiate. Yeah, but Caleb Plant is not going to be negotiating with Canelo. Al Heyman is going to be negotiating with him. Al Heyman is going to be negotiating with him. None of those wins are more impressive than Charlo's win over Derevyanchenko. Let's be honest. Let's see. Ironhead says they all say that until Canelo puts their reality into check. Yeah. If you ain't never been hit hard before, man, all that stuff go out the window. All that stuff go out the window. It'll be interesting to see what happens if Eddie does bid for Canelo Plant fight. Yeah, Canelo's going to work with Eddie Hearn, so he has a good relationship with Eddie Hearn. Everything has been going smooth, so why would he change that? Al Heyman ain't bringing nothing to the table. What are he going to bring to the table? Caleb Plant. He don't have to sign with Al Heyman to get the Caleb Plant fight. Just tell Eddie Hearn, listen, man, go over there and make that happen with Al Heyman. Find out what Al want. Al may say, yeah, man, you want to fight Caleb Plant, we're going to need at least $10 million. Eddie Hearn may say, okay, here go to 10 mil. We'll give you the $10 million. Canelo said that what he likes about working with Eddie Hearn, that he's not exclusively signed to the zone. So he can say, I'll fight this fight on PBC, this one fight. I'll fight this one fight on PBC, pay Color Me Bad $8 million. That'll make Al Heyman look good, make him feel good. Eddie Hearn gonna be the one promoting the fight. He's the promoter for Canelo Alvarez. So Al Heyman ain't got to hire no other promoter because Canelo Alvarez has a promoter. We'll fight this fight on Fox. I'll take Color Me Bad belt. Deuces. I'll holler at y'all. Give Color Me Bad a couple dollars. He get to move out of that double wide trailer that he's living in Detroit or wherever he lives at. Work with him a little bit. Al get his cut off of Justin Timberlake. Take that bread from him, and Caleb Plant can have a nice day. He can say, "Hey man, I fought Canelo Alvarez. I got beat. I made $10 million, and I ain't living in the double wide trailer no more." You see what I'm saying? So other than that, that's it, man. Peter Reeves, what you say, fam? Who promotes on PBC fighters? PBC works with promoters on a fight-by-fight basis. This is why Al Heyman can do the things that he's doing, because he's not a promotional company. If he was a promotional company, he wouldn't be able to advise the fighters and be a manager for them. That would violate the Muhammad Ali Act. So he found a loophole in it by signing all of the fighters under his management company, and then being their advisor at the same time with the PBC, and then subbing the workout for promoters. Say, listen, we're gonna sub this workout for you to help promote this fight on a fight-by-fight basis, and that's how you get around that. But essentially, he's a de facto promoter. That's all it is. He just found a way to get out of it. Peter Von Arts, what do you say? Does Caleb Plant live in a double wide trailer coach? No, he don't. He don't live in a double wide trailer. I'm just being facetious. I'm just being facetious on Peter Von Arts. But the reason why I'm saying that is because he doesn't. He's a struggling fighter. He's a struggling fighter. He's not making money like that with the PBC. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, so all right, guys. You know, listen, man. So I really appreciate you guys rocking with me. You know what I mean? I really appreciate that. Shout out to Lee Adam. Shout out to my brother Peter Barnarks. Shout out to Peter Reeves. Shout out to Irish Boxing Bro. Shout out to Ronald Finkley. Shout out to my brother Charlo. Shout out to Ron Boy Fresh. Shout out to Philip Fly. Shout out to Ronald Finkley. Shout out to Richard Marginson. Shout out to Malachi Williams, my son. Shout out to Nice Shortcake, my daughter. Shout out to Southside Boxing. Shout out to Marcy D. Shout out to Fat Apples. Shout out to Ironhead. Who else we got? My main man, Philip Fly. Shout out to Kathy W. Shout out to Irish Boxing Bro. Shout out to let's see who else we have. Ronald Finkley, I said that. Shout out to Lee Adam, I said his name. Shout out to Cool 123. Shout out to Southside Boxing. Shout out to Fat Apples. Shout out to Peter Reeves. Shout out to Gayoka. No, oh yeah, sorry about that. Shout out to Gayako. Sorry about that. Mispronounced your name. Shout out to Rocky Rodriguez. Shout out to Hardline Boxing Talk. Shout out to Alan Skill. Shout out to Richard Margison. Let's see. Shout out to my main man, Cool 123, Marcy D. Hardline Boxing Talk. Rocky Rodriguez. Let's see who else we have. I think I got everybody. Guys. So other than that, that's it. Oh yeah, shout out to Jesse Dominguez. Once again, guys, it's our boy Coach Malachi Williams representing for New Media Today USA Boxing. And peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.